us back on the VOD. So welcome one and all to Counterfeit's Casual Competition number 12. I am the Counterfeit from the title of the competition. It me. But it's not just me today, it's also Improbable Blob, multi-time competition winner and generally top tier TFT streamer, Improbable Blob. How you doing? Oh, what were you doing yesterday? Oh, did you do both competitions? Oh, wait a second. It looks like my OBS is being a jerk and cut out my audio for you. But now it's working.
So nobody said any of the very exciting commentary I just did.
No.
Oh well.
Let's try it again. Alright, so without further ado, it's Improbable Blob! Woo!
Yay.
The crowd goes wild.
Indeed they do.
So Improbable Blob, or Improbable Blob. Thunder Fighter, hopefully more than one FPS this time. Well, I don't want to get too carried away. So Blob, we've got ourselves our competitors for today, so we'll be sticking with the one lobby. So we're going to be able to, you know, build up our knowledge of the players over time, and hopefully end up in a pretty good spot. If is there streaming running? Do I need to?
I have no idea.
Doesn't look like it. All right. We'll cut out stream. We'll cut out their stream for the time being.
And also, Wolf is on the wrong scene. But oh well.
Alright, yes, good job, Wolf, good job. So, excitingly, today's competition sees the return of the Bonky Meister himself, sadly without a Bonky to call his own. It's Finno.
I mean, Jax does do bonks, even though Finno doesn't actually like Jax and has called me out for playing too much Jax. But Jax does do bonking. I mean, I suppose as does Mordecai, so I'd expect him to like those champions, even though apparently he doesn't.
So I mean, what are you, personally speaking, what are you seeing as the good stuff right now?
So good stuff includes Vel'Koz, Karma, just Forgotten in general. Then there's also Aphelios, and there's some nonsense, very high cost, like level 9 comp where you go for Invoker Heimerdinger. There's a few reroll comps with Lysandra, Hylian, Redeemed, or Vayne that you can do, and obviously there's also Skirmishes, which is my baby, and it's also probably the weakest of all the comps I just mentioned.
Yes, I noticed that they were talking about buffing a lot of Skirmishes, which I guess is telling as to where they feel like Skirmishes are right now. I mean, given how Skirmishes are at the moment, as we see some early night action from Fig Bino, as he's otherwise known, what is it about Skirmishes that's holding them back?
They're very mediocre. That's all it is. They're just a lot of the units are mediocre. They don't do very much. The utility provided by a lot of them isn't great. Like things like Kennen is great. Trundle is okay if he gets onto a good target, but can be kind of crap if he doesn't. Pantheon, if Pantheon is blocking in the right direction, he's amazing. If he's not, he's terrible. You have Nidalee, who is kind of just not a great unit on her own. Like she's good stage 2, stage 3 if you get a 2-star, but other than that, she's not great. Lee Sin's like AoE's slow. No one really cares. I mean, Viego's good though. And obviously you have Jax, who does do decent damage if you get him going.
Alright, well let's check and see what our players are up to right now. So, we have got a little bit of Legionnaire creeping through, but there's a fair amount of Hellions knocking around as well. I believe, is it current that Zig's got a little bit of an attack speed nerf, but the Hellions are still mostly untouched?
Yeah, only Zig's got touched from 0.85 attack speed to 0.75. It was fairly reasonable because Shiv Ziggs was just super broken, and it's still pretty strong. But you know, not I have 3 Hellion Shiv with a Ziggs, at 2-1, I now win the entirety of stage 2 broken. So yeah.
Well, as we check back in with Thunderfry, we've got some early item commits. Mr. Duck, who is a force of nature unto themselves, playing by rules which are not quite fully understood by the community at large, but that will hopefully change.
I definitely understand the rules. They play specifically only the highest cost of champion that they've seen.
Okay.
Which means that they always lose. But unless, of course, other people are playing by the same rule set. But given no one else is, they will always lose.
Oh, hey, Mizkip. Welcome to the stream. We're doing a TFT competition, a bi-weekly TFT competition. I hope you're doing well. Oh my gosh. Uh-oh. You're getting shouted out in the game.
Yep, that's Thunderfry, who actually just recently followed me, like, out of nowhere. So that was weird to see them here as well. They've got a pretty strong board. They've got a 2-star Aatrox. They do have 2 the owners, which isn't great. You'd rather have a 3rd Redeemed or a Knight. But still, Legionnaire start is always quite nice. It gives you a lot of power in the early game. Like, the units are decent. And Callista herself, the spear is very deceptively strong. It will, like, kill almost everything. Especially if you have 2-star Callista, it does well over 1,000 damage, and 1,000 HP is more than most things have in general, apart from things like a Warwick 2.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Duck. I missed out your stream there, so let's make up for that by checking in with Ducky One themselves, as you can see. So, Blob, if I was trying to make up a new rule set for TFT...
Yep.
I don't know if I would necessarily make it quite as punishing as this, in terms of... Is there like a... Because it's not a strategy, so it's not like something which is going to make make Duck do well later on. It's just a different way of playing that nobody else is adhering to.
Yeah, no one else is adhering to, and it makes you weaker. If you look at something like, for example, Ultimate Bravery, which is another alternate rule set, that actually does have like potential to work. You can actually build a team comp around the synergies that you're given and the king that you're given as well. Whereas this, you kind of can't. You're just like, well, I'm playing 3 costs, and there is no real synergy here. There's there's actually no synergies on this board, and yeah, so it's kind of just doomed. And Ducky will be going 8th every game if they continue this way.
Oh, yes, so, just talk back to Ali in the chat. Absolutely, I remember you. I hope you're doing well. This is one of the reasons for the competition today, is to get people exposed to a few more of these smaller TFT streamers, because I know it's very top-heavy in the TFT community as a whole. So, you won't, unless you're going out of your way to see some of the smaller TFT streamers, you just won't. I'd definitely recommend checking out Improbable Blob TFT, who is my co-caster for today.
As would I.
Well, let's see, what have we got going on? So, so for Thunder Fighter, I mentioned before that the Legionnaire, also the Redeemed as well.
Yeah, they did find a Syndra. They haven't committed to anything just yet. I mean, Redeemed is very, very strong if you can find the Vel'Koz. And the items here are really, really good for Thunderfry. You can go Jeweled Gauntlet, Shojin. They're obviously not slamming it just yet because they're trying to lose streak. But in terms of items for Vel'Koz, Jeweled Gauntlet, Jeweled Gauntlet plus Shojin is arguably the best you can do. And then you also have a Shadow tier. You can go for a Chalice of Malice, which gives incredible amounts of AP to your Vel'Koz as well. So wouldn't be surprised to see that be the angle. Although, yeah, obviously they are just trying to lose streak into the neutrals. They are going to lose to Finno here, who is playing this kind of just hodgepodge of 2-star units and kind of crushing everyone, it seems.
Yeah, currently undefeated. Also, of course, the ghost of Wukong, Bonky Kong hanging over the lobby. As Cho'Gath, who's our random player for this first game, takes their first loss, so Fig Binno remains the only big player on campus, only one undefeated heading into the end of Stage 2.
Yeah, and we saw that they pivoted out of their Hellion start. They went for a just all over the place, just find units, put them in type of thing. And yeah, it's obviously very powerful. They had a 2-star Nautilus I saw, 2-star Kha'Zix with pretty good items. So yeah, they are very strong and probably looking to keep this win streak going all the way through Stage 3 with that board.
Alright, well, we're getting ganked by adverts on Finesse Stream, so we won't be able to look at in detail for them, but we have, of course, got some new stuff to check out here. So, Wolf, now with their scene fixed, is able to show us that they were the Abomination player, and they've got themselves a couple of items onto the Callista, nothing on the brand as of yet, and just a belt onto the Nunu. How are you feeling about Abomination right now?
I think Abomination is very, very strong. If you can get Abomination early on, it's one of the most powerful synergies in the game. Unfortunately, I think the items were slammed on the Callista before the Abomination was found, and so the Callista. So if you would say have the GA on the brand and the Rage Blade on the Callista, then your Abomination would be even stronger. They do choose to Zephyr the Nunu, which is not a great Abomination item, but it's fine just as a generic good item to have. So yeah, the Abomination will come out, it will charge forward, and it will just murder any backline that's doing anything of anything. It does a lot of damage, as you can see, especially when it first comes out.
So I'm right in remembering that the Abomination gains all of the sort of bonuses, or all of the stats from the units that comprise it.
So similar to how cultists usually work, the higher star units you have, the higher the AD and HP of the Abomination is itself. Okay.
Well, so right now we've got a pretty solid front line of 4 Brawlers and the Abomination together, so they're gonna, have a lot of beef there. With the backline DPS of the Callista to pour through, so it looks like a pretty solid game right now for WolfX. We'll take it around to see how the Brawlers play out in reality, though.
4 Brawler are very, very strong. It's a lot of HP on these units. And it means that you're going to be very hard to kill. And this Callista with the Rage Blade is going to be able to stack up very, very efficiently. The brand also is going to be able to spread his spell around, because he's essentially like Cassiopeia from set 3, only less good, because obviously he's a 2-cost. So yeah, obviously it doesn't happen if you just get assassinated by this Nocturne, but that's typically the idea.
Yeah, the Guardian Angel is an interesting kind of thing here because of the whole, you have to have 3 units die before the Abomination comes out. So I suppose at least it does mean that the Callista's likely to be amongst the remaining units while the Abomination's on the field.
Absolutely, and you kind of want that because Callista is your damage dealer, and I mean, she's not actually doing that much damage at the moment because of these the Tarek giving the bonus armor. Luckily, Nunu is there to just do true damage because Nunu doesn't care. But yes, you want your Callista alive for as long as possible because Callista is your damage dealer. You would like to have it be Callista too, but you can't have everything, can you?
No, it seems to be going alright so far. But yeah, Miskiv, definitely drop me a DM afterwards so we can catch up a bit better. I do have to unfortunately focus a little bit on the tournament as a whole while it's going on, so I apologise if I'll have to leave your messages on red for a little bit. Let's check in with Finno, the Master Manipulator. Is no longer at the very top of the table. That's down to Purples, who's up there right now. But we've seen a pretty dramatic shift of focus.
Yeah, they've gone towards these assassins. They have the 2-star Kha'Zix. They don't have that much of a front line, unfortunately, so the assassins have to do their damage very, very quickly, which is kind of their thing, so it's not the end of the world. And that GA really coming in clutch with the Kha'Zix there.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like such a fantastic item to kind of leave them as one of the last ones standing to take advantage of that isolation damage. Just leave in. Smarten a little bit. Let's check on the lobby overall. So, as perhaps wise punters may have anticipated, Mr. Duck currently at the bottom with 35 health. Let's see what the heck are they doing.
For last time I checked, they had a single Draven on the board. So yeah, they still have a single Draven on the board. I mean, when you only have one unit, there's not a lot you can really do.
Oh my gosh, yes.
This is the floor of this this comp, really.
They have got 450 plus ping in this game. It's a good thing TFT doesn't generally punish you too harshly for that, though. I guess at the higher levels it does.
I mean, yeah. Although, I mean, it's nowhere near as bad as other games. And if you're playing something like this, where you don't actually do anything the entire game, it shouldn't be too bad at all.
That's true. Oh my gosh. I mean, I don't know if there's a huge amount to say about Mr. Ducks.
There isn't.
Let's change. Let's change and check out Thunderfry, who is bringing out the 4 Renewer setup now with their Redeemed. Very interesting. You don't see a ton of this, but I like it.
Yeah, 4 Renewer is very, very strong if you can get it this early. Typically, it's quite hard to get because finding Ivan is quite difficult, but they did manage to do that, although they have trapped that Ivan in the corner, unfortunately. Yeah, they also found the Renewer spat, which helps because it means you don't have to play the Vladimir or the Lissandra. They chose not to play the Vladimir. But yeah, this is a pretty strong board right now. They are choosing to roll here. I'm not quite sure what they're going for. They're trying to find Syndra 2, maybe?
Well,
I'd have to guess it's Syndra 2, is what they're looking for.
It certainly seems to make sense. We've got the dual gauntlets and Infinity Edge setup, so she's going to be hitting really, really hard. I don't know if she's ultimately... I think you're right that the long term we're looking at presumably a redeemed Vel'Koz to, just to slot into this comp. As Mr. Duck makes all losing streak strategies invalid.
Yeah, that is one of the things. It's essentially like having an AFK player in the game. You've got to play around the fact that you're never going to lose streak, because they're always going to lose to you. Although, luckily for Thunderfry here, they're on a win streak anyway, so they don't care. In fact, they're probably quite happy about getting that then, guaranteeing the win streak into the neutral round.
Oh, hey, Cloud Toucher? 1? You thought the tournament was going to start now? That's very unfortunate. Yes, so we'll be back in a couple of weeks for the Hyper Roll edition. It's very Street Fighter of the next tournament. So if you were here half an hour ago, you could be playing right now. You can always come and just I don't know if we actually can able to insert people after it starts. I think maybe not. But 2 weeks time will be another one. But nice to see you here anyway. Just do enjoy it. You can always come and jump on the server and talk to the players. They're very personable.
That's another Renewer spat.
Oh my gosh.
If it was wanted. Also could go for a redeemed spat. But yeah, another Renewer spat means you can take out this Lissandra, who's basically worthless, and just throw in something better, like this Aatrox 2. And,
yeah, presumably you're going from having like a situation where you've got like just trait bots to suddenly be able to put that onto a carry, and then you've got, an immensely powerful setup.
Absolutely. It's always really, really nice to have all these spatulas. It means you can go for these wild comps. And typically when you're going for like a 4 Renewer, 4 Invoker late game comp, not having to play the 1 cost and 2 cost Renewers is really nice, because no one really wants to be playing Lissandra early game. No, not early game. You want to play Lissandra early game, absolutely. You don't want to play Lissandra late game. No one really wants to be playing Vladimir or Soraka. If you can just play Heimerdinger and then Ivan, and just have 2 Renewer spats, it's really, really powerful. Of course, the issue with that is you have to get there. And currently Thunderfry is down here at 43 HP at the bottom of the lobby, and struggling just a little bit.
Alright, we can officially write down Mr. Duck's comp as dead, as they have been summarily dispatched. I have a lot of respect for Mr. Duck to be trying to pull off. Oh wait, there's an Invoker. You're talking about having 4 Invokers.
That's a Teemo as well. Very, very powerful unit. I'm not sure why another sword has been picked up. They already had 2 swords. 3 swords is possibly too many. They do actually find the extra Syndra, and now they have the 4 Invokers. So their entire team essentially has a Shojin on it. And that's really, really powerful. And they are going to slam the Chalice and Malice. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of damage coming out of these units. 4 Renewer, 4 Invoker at level 7. That's a pretty good synergy, although we'll have to see if it's good enough to beat Dare's assassins. So apparently the answer is yes, because that's a lot of damage.
It is, yeah, I was kind of wondering how this would look, because we're not exactly looking at a tremendous frontline situation here. But I think Dare is struggling to get through. Yeah, we've got currently the item holder for the Vel'Koz. The Syndra doing a pretty good job, even at level 7 against Dare's otherwise pretty darn strong looking assassins.
I mean, yeah, it's the front line is essentially just Leona plus Daisy, and that's a decent enough front line for now. Will have to be adjusted later into the game. Probably needs something like maybe a Rel in place of this Varus, and you can play a Nautilus for Ironclad as well. You can see Thunderfire is just hovering over these swords, being like, why do I have 3 swords? Because 3 swords, it's not it. You don't want to have 3 swords. Hopefully you can make a Shojin and a Gunblade and maybe a GA and maybe a Zeke's. But yeah, not the best items in the world.
I'm trying to find some TFT appropriate music here, and a lot of these aren't very appropriate. So apologies for if the mood has been somewhat altered in a weird way. So up against Leavin here, and yeah, right now, I'm just fascinated by seeing this Renewer Invoker competition, which seems like it's only really possible to be this powerful with those 2 Renewer Spatulas working extraordinarily well.
Absolutely. It's definitely not something you see every day, because obviously it's a 2 Spatula comp, and that's fairly rare. Thunderfire does go for the Volibear, which is very reasonable, because you do have an Ivanant, and that would give you Revenant as well. So we're going to see even more frontline from this. And I don't know if you saw, but the Ivan was just tanking several units, just healing up based entirely on Renewer. The healing 60% HP per second is actually quite a lot. When like your main damage source gets taken out, it's actually quite hard to be doing that much damage to a unit.
Yeah, presumably if you put defensive itemization on that Ivern, who's now up to 2 stars and therefore has a much bigger health pool in the first place, but with defensive itemization, presumably they're just not ever going to die.
Oh, not ever going to die is possibly slightly hyperbolic.
Not ever!
But yes. Yeah, it's very hard to kill a tanky 4 Renewer unit, especially when they can summon something like a Daisy who has several thousand hit points and also CCs your team. So yes, very strong comp, and especially like there's a lot of utility as well with the displacement of the Syndra, the attack speed slow from the Teemo, the CC from the Daisy, the silence from the Soraka. It's honestly quite hard to get through all of this utility, along with all the damage that's come through as well. Finding this Teemo at level 7 was a blessing for Thunderfire.
Yes, I mean, if we're talking about high rolls, this definitely seems to be one of them coming together before our eyes, but I suppose, credit to Thunderfire here, they saw this opportunity was available, and they took it, whereas, say myself, I wouldn't necessarily have even realised this opportunity was there for the grabbing.
I mean, yes, the one issue, of course, is that they didn't high roll the early game too hard, and a 37 HP, even if you have a very, very strong board, the late game can mess you up. People do spike very, very hard. You have people who have things like a Helian Garen, who is... It's always very funny seeing Helian units because they get smaller. You have things like this Helian Garen, a lot of 3 stars as well. It looks like it's going to be fine anyway, but people are going to be strong. Once the Shogath finds a Teemo, they're going to have 7 Helian in, and I'm kind of worried about what's going to happen there, because I've seen 7 Helian do incredible amounts of work.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting to have in the set that you've got this early game composition that can, with that Spatula, as we've obviously been seeing quite a few Spatulas knocking around this game, become a late game, a juggernaut as well. I think we've spent enough time with Thunderfire for the time being, though. Let's jump over.
They seem to have stabilized, that's for sure.
So let's see.
Should we go over to Finno? Because, Ducky's dead, so...
Yes. Okay, so what have we got going for Finno? It looks like they've actually transitioned a little bit
Cavalier.
as well. Okay.
They do have a Cavalier spat, which makes these units very, very tanky. And Cavalier Viego is the choice here, which is unusual. Typically, you don't see that too often. You usually see Cavalier on units that want to be tanking, for example, this Garen.
So talk me through here. You know, why are people rating the Cavalier spat so highly recently?
I don't think they are. I think it's rated about where it should be, which is it's okay. Cavalier is a decent damage reduction, and if you can get a Cavalier spat, it means you can play 4 Cavalier without having to play the trash unit that is Kled. So yeah, it's not a bad item by any stretch. It's just that typically people don't play 4 Cavalier, so it's not considered too often.
I guess as well with the I'm trying to remember, like with the way that the Cavalier, you know, trait works, you're getting a damage reduction at the start of combat every time you charge. So how does that work with a range unit? Does a ranged Cavalier just move into melee with people?
I'm not actually sure. I've never tried it, but I would assume so. That they still do the charge. I'm not sure if they charge into their own attack range. But yeah, it's a weird one, that's for sure.
Because, you know, presumably one of the things for the Cavaliers is, you know, a lot of times as melee units, they're kind of being stuck facing up against an enemy unit that they're never going to necessarily, or, you know, it's unlikely that they'll kill with any kind of speed. So they're not going to get the chance to charge too often. But I wonder if with, like, assassins here, like the Viego, you're getting the chance to proc, you know, the doubled up damage reduction a lot more than the regular units will be able to.
Absolutely, because obviously all the Cavalier units are fairly defensive. Like, Rel doesn't do any damage. Sejuani doesn't do any damage. Hecarim doesn't do any damage. So, yeah, they very rarely kill the targets they're going for. So, yeah, having this item on a damage dealer is obviously really nice. Not only just because it means that they can not die, but also they can actually proc the ability much more easily than the actual Cavalier units themselves.
So Purples, who was up at the top of the score as we glance across to our right. Let's see how the lobby is going. Purples is almost dead. Sadly, I don't think we haven't got opponent fee for Purples, do we? But they did suggest, Blob, the hyper roll for the next competition, which I think is a great idea. I haven't seen anybody running a hyper roll competition, but I think it'd be pretty fun.
I actually haven't played any hyper roll at all after the set has gone live, so I don't know. I have no idea what the differences are between that mode, but I mean, it'll be good to try, I guess.
I do think it's a very time limited version, so I think for next competition there'll be a lot more rounds, and it's kind of like it's sort of hard limited to about 20 minutes or so. Like there's definitely a lot of complexity there, but you do get quite a lot of what a regular TFT game would be like. As we check in with D Wolf here, who is running a fully itemized Kale and and a fair amount of redeemed as well. Verdant 3, pretty spicy. And there we go, full power Kale comes online and makes our random Cho'Gath feel all sorts of sad.
I mean, yeah, it's one of those comps that is very hit or miss. Either you do really, really well with your Kale, or it's terrible. So these fights, if you can win these fights, it's great. I mean, the comp that's currently been put together, I'm not sure is the best Kale comp you could put together. Obviously, they're not level 9. They don't have things like a 2-star Garen. They don't have 4 Knights. They don't have all the Ironclads and the Mystics that you could possibly want. But it's still decent. I would say that possibly going for 3 Verdant isn't great. Mostly because a lot of the CC that comes out quite late. So the 8-second Verdant thing is not the best. Although it can work against things like this Syndra that is going to cast very, very quickly with the Invoker Renewer. So it's not the worst thing in the world, it's just there might be better synergies.
We'll see how Wolf ends up going up against the level 9 now redeemed comp. We've been seeing this doing pretty darn well for Thunderfry. They're on 28 life right now. It doesn't look like they found their Vel'Koz they've been looking for, which is surprising. They've made it to 9. I presume that this is not an intentional move on their part.
I actually don't think they're going for Vel'Koz. I think they're actually going for Heimerdinger instead.
Ooh.
Because he fits the comp slightly better. Oh no! Oh wait, The cruel comes in clutch, and
Wait.
Thunderfry
What
barely wins out. That's the synergy cruel. In a 1v1, Teemo always wins.
I didn't read that part of the synergy. I don't think I kind of clocked. Wait,
Yeah.
that's really a thing?
Yep. In a 1v1, Teemo always wins. And that's the animation that shows. Smartly there, Thunderfry actually put a GA on Teemo so that he's more likely to be the last unit standing. And against things like this Kale, which is also fairly hard to, typically at the end of the fight, Kale is the only one standing. Teemo will win that, because that's just how
Wow.
Cruel works.
That is... Okay, yes, the cruel synergy says they hunger to be alone against exactly one enemy left standing. They don't actually say what the synergy does, but okay.
I mean, yeah, it's not explicit, but yes, that's what the synergy does. Teemo just comes out the ground and eats you, and then you're sad.
Okay, so is that literally a release valve in here for Kale then?
Well, it's not specifically for Kale. It's just something that Teemo does. There's a lot of units that end up being on their own. Things like any given solo damage dealer, so Draven, Kale, Vel'Koz, Karma, can do this. Even things like Jax can be the last one standing, and Teemo is just something that beats that, and you've got to be aware of it. And playing around it can be quite hard. With a comp like this, with no backline access, it can be very hard indeed.
Alright, well let's check around, let's see. So Mr. Duck I think is... that's interesting, I don't know why they're grey.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, they don't...
Usually you go back to normal colours after you can click, keep watching, so not sure why they're grey. Maybe they just like the grayscale.
Alright, well we can see the Kale comp there, we'll see what else we can find. So, we know kind of what's going on with the... Actually, let's do a quick check of with the Redeemed. So, you mentioned before, we've got the Revenant coming back in. Not anywhere near as powerful as it was pre-nerf, but I imagine it's going to work pretty well for the Ivern to be able to come back to life, and then, having dropped all the aggro, start renewing back up again.
Absolutely, and also it works very well for this Volibear, because it means that he can actually get his cast off, and even if he dies during animation, because he has the revive, the animation goes through. So he always gets the animation. As long as he ults before he dies, the ult will go off, and it will CC that large portion of the enemy team. What I imagine is the end game for this is you find your Heimerdinger, you take out the Syndra, you find another Syndra for 4 Invoker still, and you put the Redeem spat on the Renewer spat on the Volibear, so that he can just tank even more, because obviously Volibear is a very, very tanky unit, and able to just eat up so much more when he has the CC immunity. Does find a Vel'Koz, but no extra Syndra, so it doesn't want to get rid of 4 Invoker here, because that's just so much power.
Yes, it's going to be enabling the secondary carries here. So let's see. So we've got our top 4 left, as Fig Bino is knocked out. Purples in 7th and Mr. Duck in 8th. Our random goes out in 6th. So leaving Dare, Thunderfry, and D-Wolf are left standing. Leaving here, looks like they've gone for the Nightbringer setup here with the Aphelios setup. Pretty good damage items, and you can see the massive shield coming out to keep the Aphelios alive.
Absolutely, and the Aphelios did pretty well there. The typical way you beat this is you have the Volibear take out the shield, and then obviously if there's no Nightbringer shield, then Aphelios is sad. However, the Volibear ulted too soon, and that didn't happen. It's a bit of a tricky balance to have there.
They're going and knocked out in 4th place, means we're left with D-Wolf up at the top of the table with a very healthy 38, whereas the other two, Leavin and Thunderfry, they've only got a couple of rounds left in them, as that's the one which you were holding out for.
That's the Heimerdinger.
So where's it? Yeah, where are we going to see this final change? It looks like we have got the options here being mulled over by Thunderfry. They decide not to commit in for the big change, maybe holding out for next round.
I think the changes are you take out the Syndra for a different Syndra, you move the items around, you have the IE, the Jewel Gauntlet on your Heimerdinger, you put the Renewer Spat on your Volibear, and that's kind of it. You can take out this Leona for a Garen, because obviously you're all AP damage, so that's really what you want. And yeah, apart from that, that's kind of about it, really. Although it does look like, unfortunately, this Kale is going off, and there's not a lot really to be done by Thunderfry here. It looks like they might actually die.
They are, just by a hair's breadth, leaving losing as well. D-Wolf seems to be set up for our first winner, so we'll stick on them as our point of view for the rest of the game. However, short or long that it may end up being, D-Wolf grabs hold of the Shadow Belt there. So what have they got in mind?
It looks like Shadow Trapclaw Morgana is what it is, which is, or maybe it's just actually just putting in Kindred. Still, Shadow Trapclaw is a pretty good item. Not on Kindred though, because you don't actually want your Kindred in the backline. No. It can work very well against things like Aphelios, because if you say if you have Morgana, Aphelios ults your Morgana just jumps to the backline, ults, and then stuns the Aphelios in the backline, and it's great.
Would it work well for a Rel?
It could work for a Rel, but it's currently on a Kindred, so probably not going to be slammed, I'd imagine.
No, that's right.
The other thing about it is that they do bonus damage to the unit that procs the Trapclaw. So it's typically good on units that do damage. So things like the Morgana, which does damage, things like the Garen, or other units that are damage based. And all that Kindred ult kind of saved the day there. And I think Kale is just about going to win this.
Yeah, just that bit too beefy. So there we go. It's all about the Kale. It's all about the late game, even with that Teemo tech in there to make it all happen. All right. So, with all said and done, we got our first lobby all done and dusted. We should be able to get on to our next rounds relatively quick. So we're looking to start up round number 2 at 20 past. Give our players a chance to take a break for a moment before we kick things back off again. But as I said, normally we have to shuffle people around lobbies. Very much not the case today. We're just playing with our 8 players. So we'll be back underway soon. Do stick around, and we'll see you for round 2 in just a few short minutes' time.
You're back then. Probably.
All right, everybody. Our players were too enthusiastic to hold up from playing their hearts out straight away. And we also have ourselves another POV for this game. So let's enjoy that right now. Wow,
How
it's
exciting.
there. So, Blob, for anyone who wasn't here for the first game, hopefully we've got some results somewhere. Nope. Nope, not posting the results. All right.
Well, we know that the Kale comp from Wolf did end up winning, so that's all you need to know. Kale is very strong in the late game if you can get her off.
Yes, and certainly with the 3 items as well. Though, I mean, we've certainly seen the Kale in the context where, you know, we don't necessarily need to itemize her beyond the Guardian Angel. We can certainly see how powerful she can be with items as well.
Absolutely. Okay, I'm not sure what's up with the HP totals in this lobby. Why we're on 2-2, but only one person's lost any HP, and why they're all at 0.
I think they're trying to surrender the game because they started too early.
Did they miss someone? Is someone not here?
Oh no, Pills is here. They want to play with Pills, right?
I see. Okay, so we have to wait a bit then.
Alright, sorry about that, guys. This is what happens when players take things into their own hands. It all goes to hell very quickly. Alright, Blob, why don't we go down and converse with the players? Sounds like it's something to do.
I mean, we can do, I guess.
I mean, you can hang out if you like. I'll go see what they're doing.
How confused is this guy gonna be when he gets
Fucking
the
Hellion
first
player.
Hey, you guys.
Hey,
Yeah.
Where's the results from game 1, huh?
lol chess.
I got it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm opening lol chess.
Yeah,
We're
listen,
just trying to
everything's
end
a
it as quick as
mess.
possible.
I don't know whose fault this is.
Post
personally.
results here. We're just trying to end it as quick as possible so we can
Hey,
get
guys,
one
I got my
kill in
spatula.
and
Yeah.
I can't remember what the surrender point is for TFT.
It's-
It's
Krug.
Krug.
It's after Croaks.
So we'll get pretty close to just the correct
Yeah.
start time.
you know.
We were just getting a warm up in.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
please,
yeah,
please for future
Paris
events,
of Canada.
don't take things into your own hands and just start rounds without asking, because there will be
Yeah,
unexpected consequences, like the caster not being at the computer when you do.
Yeah, that was my
Also-
bad. I'm really
Wait,
sure that was my bad.
Guys, just sell your units. Just don't keep them from purple.
Sorry,
Hey,
I
Rick.
just absent-mindedly left him in.
Alright, guys. I'm pushing a power level in. I'm level 6. Level 6, let's go.
Same, bro. Let's go.
I'm coach. I'm gonna get to level 7.
Oh man, mad
Oh.
man.
Well, that's out of control.
Yeah. I'm only level 5.
Oh, you're going halfway in.
Yo, Thunderthrower, you've had a hell of a time. You're on like 90 HP.
Yes, okay. I just played him the latest, so we had the most units. He's
Oh,
power
I
level.
see.
I
It's
think I
draws.
might be against him.
8 damage for these 0-unit draws. I was sure you were going to take 1 damage. Apparently not.
Yeah, I
it's
thought
kind of
you
weird,
would.
isn't it? Is it the
I
stage
think
2
it's
thing?
because isn't
No.
the base damage on stage 2 is 0?
It is
yeah.
0.
Additional
But
damage-
typically when you lose by 0 units, you take 1 damage.
No, it's because the way it's coded is that whenever it's like an externally created unit, so like Abomination, ZZ Rot, Cultist or whatever, is what attributes like the 1 damage.
Yeah.
Is what I assume.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
apparently that's what it
Oh,
must be.
thank God.
because These 1-unit losses, the 0-unit laws draws are apparently worth no damage. It's good
I'm
to
just
know,
playing
actually.
Blood.
Now or is it after?
Because I actually thought it was a 50-50. Whoever would lose, and it would just be like one person takes the damage, the other person doesn't.
So
Put units in so I can beat Krugs.
is it the case that created units do cause damage now? Because I remember they didn't for a while.
Yes, they do.
yeah.
1 damage
Wait, they do?
if they're the last unit standing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they do no damage.
No, they only do 1 damage on stage 2.
Ouch.
They only do 1 damage on stage
Oh
2.
yeah, that's it. Specifically, so that you lose rounds and then be 100 HP.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm power leveling.
Wicked.
There. There,
I
that's
didn't get
cheating.
this.
There,
I didn't.
there. What is this?
Oh dear.
I got to 7. I got to 7. All right.
Wait. Where's the FFA? Wait. Is the wait? Can't FF yet?
I think
2?
I know it's somewhere in stage 3 because I've done it before.
Yeah.
I think it's
I can't-
after this round, after this prep stage finishes, you can surrender.
It might just
Oh,
be like
you got to level 7.
time. And
Aha,
because
level 7,
we've
let's go.
been losing these rounds so fast, it's just gonna be later on.
Level 7 squad.
There should be a time. There should be a time aspect to it.
There's definitely not time.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's a
Okay,
very
surrender.
long period before you're allowed to surrender, though.
Yeah, I don't know
Oh,
why.
hell yeah.
Okay.
I mean, usually it's like after Crux, with just 10 minutes in the game, so maybe they've just done it if it's
We
past
can't-
10 minutes.
can't-
Because we can't yet, and I think
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
because
wait, I
the
can't
rounds have
open it.
been going so fast.
TFT's surrender time.
I got a Dragon
is
Slayer
usually-
back.
Like,
oh,
but
the
I-
thro-
I-
wait. Oh, it is. It is time based. It's 10 minutes.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well,
Interesting.
And because the rounds have been going, like, usually you
Well,
don't
only
get
like 2 more minutes,
past
right?
Crux before 10 minutes.
Yeah,
Usually
something like
then,
that.
but
Huh.
because our rounds have been going so fast, we're all just dying.
Yeah, only like 2
I
more
always
minutes.
thought it was
All right.
after
All right.
Crux.
All right. New
One-
thing. New thing.
One minute,
We
one
choose
minute.
one unit. We
One
choose
minute.
one unit to be our champion.
1 unit?
Okay, I like
Why
that.
not?
I like that.
Yeah, I got that.
Somewhat
I
dark
got
style,
that.
you might say.
I got that news because my unit is my unit is
Wait, you've got Aphelios with thieves' gloves?
got Bloodthirster Shojin's Jax.
Alright.
Oh, my Cyrus not
Jax.
fucking
Holy-
the
wait,
first
Jax
out of your
actually-
Aphelios. It's game over.
Yeah,
I cursed are you?
Too strong.
Guys, I'm on fire.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Tank Aphelios. Let's go.
Let's go.
Oh.
Check.
This is the
Nice.
top quality entertainment everyone came for.
Oh, I don't
Exactly.
even.
Okay,
I
whoever
don't-
gets the 1% chance to get a 5th tier log. Oh.
Okay, but I don't.
Oh!
What?
5 costs. 5 costs. All right. Game
I
one
don't know.
time. 1 time. 5 costs.
25 costs beat my. Oh, I got a lot of good units.
I
Not
think
good enough.
I think Viego beats your Jax.
Okay, yes, Viego would be my Jax. That's
Timo.
okay.
Timo.
Okay,
Okay,
I'm happy with
you-
what I got.
You picked some suspicious units. I don't like that.
I got the
Duck mode
1% chance.
strikes again.
Wait, what is that? Wait, what's the point of slamming that?
Wait a minute.
Why not?
Okay, I don't think that beats Jax.
I think it does.
Alright,
Oh, no, I-
he doesn't have anti-heal. He doesn't have anti-heal.
Wait, is that RFC Nunu?
It already eats from across the map, anyways.
there, that's not good items. Why did you roll that?
Tank Aphelios is the new meta. Trust me. Trust.
Oh, everybody, surrender! It's time.
Oh,
Is it?
it's time. All right.
Yeah, let's go.
Eh.
Pills.
Yeah, I
you really
completed a
just
mission.
put horse in my chat.
All right.
You
Get
need to
pills
pick
in here.
Hecarim. I really want
Yeah, I could have gone.
Just
I could have
enough.
gone Hecarim. I like
Yeah.
the board. Look at that board.
Everybody, wipe your
Yeah.
memory of the last 10 minutes.
A very serious
game.
What happened last
Alright.
10 minutes?
So,
Yeah,
please,
but that was the
please, for future competitions, don't stop without being told. I'll be
Remember.
very sad.
I should.
Oh,
I was at fault. I did not.
I
check
was gonna do
Discord.
it. I was gonna do it until
All
you said
right,
you'd
we
be
go
sad.
again. This time, give me Nocturne 2 before 2-5.
Alright, Blob, let's get back to the serious business here.
Indeed.
What do you mean serious business? Have you seen what I've been doing?
Alright, they went to another.
Are you telling me that Cavalier Cosmics
they're
is
not.
not serious business?
It's perhaps too
Yeah.
serious business.
Very serious business.
Ooh.
I didn't know it
Alright, start when
overrode
ready.
the assassin.
Oh my gosh. So there we go. Behind the curtain.
Chaos. Nothing else behind the curtain.
Gosh, that was fun. I mean, it reminds me of yesterday where I was doing a League of Legends stream and the production just went live with all of the production chat before before it started, and then we just kind of like started from the middle of that. We're like, oh, everyone can hear everything we're saying? Great. I guess we're just going to carry on talking like this is the start of the show. Right. I'm just going to input our results from game number 1 since we're a little bit behind. on that one. So our first place finisher was the Wolf with, of course, our good friend Kale, carrying them all the way to the end. Leaving in second place with their Felios comp, still apparently pretty good. Thunderfry coming in third. They were the one with the Renewer setup with the double spatula. Unfortunately, even with all that good luck, still wasn't enough. Vino coming in fifth with their... looks like they were going to go for... I think it was the Katarina comp that's become a bit more popular recently.
It was the Assassins.
Oh, that's right, yes. Alright, I believe those are all correct. Let's just put the newly arrived pills into last place there. And yeah. Alright, so we're now officially, tournament speaking, into round number 2. Thunderfighter. You can tell that Thunderfighter has got excellent taste because they've got an improbable blob. Alright, let's get everything updated. I think the scoreboard takes a little while to come back online. Let's see, who should we start with today, Blob?
Probably one of the 3 that actually has a thing we can watch.
That seems like a good idea. Probably not Mr. Duck, honestly.
I think, well, Dare wasn't live for the previous one, so how about we go with them? I
think that's a good compromise, and we need to tell Wolf again to change their view. To be fair, I've done that a few times myself. I have to.
Yeah, more than a few times. It's very easy to forget. But Dare has not done that, so we can actually see what they're doing. They do start with a tier and find a bunch of gold. I'm going to be happy about that.
Ooh.
Easy choices. Just buy everything in the shop. You don't have to think.
Well, I mean, could you conceivably set up a situation here that if you got more gold drops, you get that early interest?
Yes. I mean, I don't think it's very well known which units can beat specifically stage 1-3 on their own. I think Poppy might be one of them. Udyr might be one of them. I don't know about Leona. Because you can see Poppy one-shots the backline. Okay, you just get infinite money anyway. This is a full money opener. I mean, there's even an argument that Dare can just sell everything apart from the Leona, which will guarantee 20 gold already.
I'm pretty sure that the Leona could easily beat up 4 minions.
Oh yeah, Leona 2 absolutely beats 1-4. But I think Dare is preferring the just power of having these extra units to put in, rather than the full open fort.
Oh darn! Well, yeah, it could have been kind of guaranteed there, but yeah. So Dare, that's a fascinating start for them. So they start out with just a single item, but with all the gold they can want.
This is the best start in the game, by the way.
So where does a player go from here to make the most out of getting a huge pile of gold?
I mean, what you do is you just eco really, really hard. As you can see, they're at 20 gold already. They will be 50 gold at probably 2-4. No, 2-4, 2-5. They can go 7 at like stage 3-5 and roll down before anyone else. If they have a strong enough board, as they kind of might do here against specifically people like Pills who are just chronic it, they might even be able to go level 8 really, really quickly. I doubt they're going to go 9 because they don't have the items to really do that. But yeah, their economy is unmatched by everyone not called Pills, because Pills will be getting those eggs.
Oh, whoa. Wait, is Pills actually got Draconic already?
Yeah, Pills has 3 Draconic already.
Wow, that's... So, Dare's comp is Pile of Money. And Pills is Draconic. So we've already started to scout the lobby. That's right, we're training our scouting skills here today. As item and number 2 for Dare comes in, they're going to lock down the chain vests here. I mean, right now, so much of their power's in the Leona, so I presume that's where it's going to be going for maximum tankiness.
I mean, yes, probably. You could have made an argument that it was actually just a Frozen Heart Slam on the Leona, and you can still do that by selling the Stigs. And Frozen Heart Leona is kind of very, very hard to get through, especially because a lot of damage is just front-loaded early on. So you're going to be slowing the attack speed of all these frontline units, and the damage that they do is just going to be significantly reduced. So, yeah, these sets and the Gragas just won't do very much damage. Like, obviously, the Frozen Heart wasn't slammed, but that's the theory behind it.
No, I like the idea a lot, especially with Frozen Heart getting a little bit more love in this set compared to set 4, where it was unfortunately either a little bit of an afterthought or a little bit crazy at times. So Fig Binno has got a collection of random good stuff. It's not going to be good enough to deal with the Knights. So Leona with her own damage reduction from her ultimate, combined with the Knight's damage reduction and that Chain Vest, proved impenetrable, gave plenty of time for Brand to tick away. You mentioned before the way the Brand ability works, like kind of like a sort of mini Morello effect by itself, I believe.
Oh yeah, if you remember set 3 Cassiopeia, it's essentially exactly the same thing.
I have to admit, it's been a while.
Yeah, she used to do essentially the same thing as Brand. 20 mana. Every time she casts, it hits a unit and it starts a ticking effect and does damage over time. So very, very good with Morello, very good with blue buff. I expect there's actually going to be a Brand comp in the future where you go blue buff Morello and something else. But for now, that's just not strong enough.
Yeah, I mean, this is the wonderful early days of the comp. It looks like of the game rather. Thunderthry, it looks like they're going into Redeemed in the early going. It doesn't work out for them here, and but Dare, this is bizarre. So they've actually wait, hold the phone. I haven't been keeping up with how they've been spending the money because they're. Wait, have they been spending their money, or am I just going mad?
Yes. They have been spending their money. Otherwise, they'd be at like 40 gold. They've spent 8 gold on levels. They've bought some Abomination units. They've bought obviously the Leona 2, the Brand, the Thresh, the Victor. All these are fairly expensive units. So yeah, they are nowhere near as rich as they could be, but they are 100 HP. So I think they're fine with it.
Yes, trading off the gold for dominance in the early going without the items is certainly pretty impressive. Hey, someone, welcome to the stream. We're on our second of our 3 games here today. Our first game saw Kale dominating the competition, but we're spending quite a lot of time with Dare here, who I think, we'll pick up the Abomination, so I think we'll continue to be strong. So let's have a look around and see how some of our other players are doing. Duck. Okay, we don't know.
It doesn't matter what Duck does, they go 8th.
Yes, it sounds cruel, but it's also accurate.
Yes,
they are playing a game to themselves.
Really casting there.
By themselves a little bit to an extent. Let's see. So what have we got here? We're seeing a lot of scouting going on, so we'll be able to check in a second.
Imagine actually looking around. We have 4 Redeemed, 2 Knight. Does have 2 tiers and no rods right now. So this is a pretty strong comp. You can see that the only person they lost to was Dare in the previous round. I expect them to win most of these rounds, especially against people like Finno, who only has 4 units in. I mean, this Kha'Zix, he's there, but he's not going to do enough damage. I mean, honestly, none of them are. So yeah, it's a pretty comfortable win. The Redeemed comp going strong.
So Finno going, or Fig Binno going with the Dawnbreakers for the time being. Certainly a lot of them accessible early on. How are you feeling about Dawnbreakers as an actual comp rather than kind of just a transitional piece?
Dawnbreaker really, really strong. If you can get the Karma 2 with the blue buff and some damage items in. The main draw of the comp is Karma plus Garen. Garen's ability is really, really, really strong. The shield is huge. He does quite a lot of damage. He shreds MR for your Karma to do even more damage. And he's just very, very tanky in general because he's also a knight and has really good base stats. So Dawnbreaker as a comp is very, very powerful. One of the more powerful comps in the game right now.
We're checking back in with Pills, who had the Draconic from very, very early on. So they are kind of getting their own economy going. They've relied pretty heavily on their Zyra with the Morella Nomicon as well to provide most of the damage in the early going, and they seem to be doing alright off of it.
This Shadow Morello's even is obviously does 100% of the unit's HP as true damage, and is able to cut down all the way through these Redeemed. And I think Pills is not too upset about that loss. Only 2 units, and is able to keep the Draconic keep the Draconic going essentially.
So someone, I don't know how familiar you are with TFT, but in Broad, we'll check in with our best performing player, Dare. So
Dare is very strong. If Dare gets like anything other than the top 2 here, I think they've done poorly.
So we
just based on how strong their start is.
So you can see the scoreboard down the right-hand side, so you can see the various positions. So Dare right now, the only player who's maintained their initial 100 health start, and they've been on a winning streak since the beginning. You see down the gold in the bottom middle. They've got a lot of cash, they've got a lot of units. As Improbable have said, one of the strongest starts in TFT is just to have a whole big ball of money. Dare did spend out early on to make sure they stay strong rather than going for full economy, but it's worked out remarkably well for them.
Yeah, they did spend some of it, but they still had a lot of money. They're basically 50 gold, level 6 at 3-1. You could even see level 7 at 3-2, and that wouldn't be unreasonable. So yeah, very, very rich here. Is going to go against Pills, who, again, isn't the strongest. They're just trying to eco up themselves with their Draconic. So yeah, there should be a fairly easy win for Dare. At least I think it should be. It might not be. I might be wrong.
How are you feeling about the, about Draconic? If you put it sort of compared to Fortune, the gameplay experience, how similar is that between each other?
Not at all. They are completely different playstyles. Fortune was very much, okay, I need to lose, and then spike super hard. At the point where you're like, okay, I need to spike, I need to win, I need to cash out, and then I just outpace everyone else with all the extra fortune gold, all the extra fortune items, and all that. Draconic is much more consistent. You get an egg every turn. Like, sure, the eggs can be different. You can get 1, 2, 3, or 4 turn eggs, but it's very, very consistent, and you kind of don't just spike all at once. You are constantly trying to upgrade your board. You're getting these extra units out of the Draconic eggs, so you're getting these upgrades very, very easily. So you're just trying to upgrade your board every turn. So it's much more of a trying to win streak type of comp, because you don't want to die, rather than, oh, I have to lose streak to get this massive payout.
As we see what Purples has been up to, it looks like they are running themselves some Legionnaires with a Yasuo sneaking behind the scenes, but unfortunately it doesn't seem like it's strong enough to challenge Dare here, so the front line falls apart pretty darn quickly. Someone saying they had a game with that, a 16 win streak, but they still came fourth.
Okay, it's very easy to die in the end game. There's a lot of damage that can happen in the end. So yeah, 16 win streak doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win the game. I've definitely seen people go bot 4 after being 100 HP at Raptors. I think the thing to note there in the Legionnaire comp is that they had a Gunblade and a Death Cap. I can't remember who it was on the Aatrox. So they're trying to go for that nerfed Mordekaiser build, the 6 Legionnaire Mordekaiser with a QSS, a Gunblade, and an AP item, so a Death Cap. Obviously, the issue with what they're doing is that they don't have a good holder for the items. They're sat there on an Aatrox, and Aatrox doesn't really care about these items. He can't use Gunblade because his spell is AD. Like, he can use Death Cap fine. But yeah, so the Gunblade is kind of worthless on him. And so you can see that they're kind of struggling just a little bit to win these rounds.
As we see in with Thunderfry and their redeemed composition, they've got a pretty good setup here for the Karma. We've got the blue buff to allow for full artillery casting and the extra damage from the Dual Gauntlet. The only thing we're missing from the traditional setup here would be the Hextech Gunblade in case the Karma ends up taking aggro.
Well, Gunblade's kind of optional anyway. Karma can just do enough damage, and she has the heal from the Dawnbringer anyway, that a lot of people don't actually just build Gunblade anyway, and they just go like double Dual Gauntlet or double Death Cap or something like that, and just try and pump out as much damage as possible before everyone gets to the backline. Because the thing with Karma is, if people get onto Karma, it doesn't matter if she has a Gunblade. A Draven will tear through your Karma regardless if she has Gunblade or not. So you're better off just having the Draven not get your Karma in the first place. And you do that by having a good front line and having more damage on the Karma. Although obviously Gunblade is still fine against things like, say, a Vel'Koz, which will reach the backline, or a Katarina, which will reach the backline.
So Thunderfry in the ascendancy here as Dare's win streak from the start of the game comes to a close. Mr. Duck, as expected, down at the bottom of the table, though not doing as badly as they have done before. In fact, let's grace them with our presence.
Okay, no, they just sold their entire board.
Okay, never mind. All right, on to somebody else. Let's check out the other player who's near the bottom right now. It is our good friend Fig Bino, or Finno, who you can catch.
Who does actually have a Draconic build as well. 4 Draconic is a bit questionable because obviously you don't actually need 4 Draconic. You may as well play a better unit than one of these. I don't know which one you'd take out. Maybe the Udyr, maybe the Ash. But they are trying to rely on this Zyra to do all the damage. And unfortunately, there is actually something in the game where Dawnbringers and Nightbringers can't be one-shot. Because they will go down to 1 HP, and then their ability will proc, and then they'll heal back up. So even though that Zyra would have one-shot, the Karma just didn't die. So that's kind of really unfortunate for Finno there, and they'll be a little bit upset at that. However, like, they are level 7, 50 gold. They do have a bunch of eggs ready to hatch. They're 50 HP, which is kind of low, but not the worst thing in the world. And yeah,
well, there's a Kale in the shop, which presumably would go pretty nicely. Along with the Ash. You've got Verdant. What's wrong with Verdant? You've got a spare slot on the team.
Okay, Verdant is terrible.
You take that back.
No, okay, Verdant 2. It's a 4-second CC immunity. The vast majority of CC happens after 4 seconds. So Verdant 2 does very, very little. Verdant 3 does very little as well, because CC is so slow. And Kale just doesn't have the frontline that she needs. Kale is just not a unit if she doesn't have any frontline. So Finno is absolutely correct here in not picking up this Kale.
Well, they will take more damage as they continue to be one of our players in the most peril in this lobby.
Well, they do find an Ash too, which is pretty good.
Ooh, well that's definitely something. We're not seeing the heavy itemization towards the Ash, at least so far, though you've got the Rabadon's Shadow Deathcap on to the Zyra. Presumably we're seeing this going somewhere else later on.
Yeah, we're going to see this be a Vel'Koz or a Karma. I very much doubt this is going to... Okay, probably Karma with another tier. Because Karma prefers the blue buff, Vel'Koz prefers the Shojin. So with a blue buff here, chances are we're going to see this become a Karma. It does find a Zyra, and can slam a blue buff if they really want to. It's not the best thing in the world on Zyra.
Ooh.
Okay, Sam's a Hodge, actually.
Okay.
Choosing instead to roll down at 7. Maybe they're trying to just stick with this comp here, which I don't know if that's what they're trying to do or not. Because I was kind of expecting, like, okay, I've hit a Zyra 2, I can just hopefully stabilize and just go 8. Because, yeah, they haven't really hit any 4-cost carry that they need. They slammed the Hodge, so they can't really go Karma anymore, unless they find another tier, of course. So, yeah, I'm not entirely sure what's going on. Although, that is a lot of damage out of this Zyra.
Absolutely. You managed to tear through the team, pretty much one-shotting a lot of them, but unfortunately, there with a relatively spread formation meant that, while half the team was one-shot, the other half were able to clean up. We see that we're getting a lot of work out of the Brand there, who's doing some good item carrying. Someone asking about the a couple of things. Sorry, yes, someone I've kind of fallen behind the chat a little bit. Blob, how are you feeling about Invokers in general at the moment?
I mean, Invokers in general are very strong. You can play, for example, in the Vel'Koz build, where you're going Redeemed, and you can also go Invokers because you're playing Syndra anyway. It actually works very well, specifically 2 Invoker, because if you have a Shojin on Vel'Koz, 2 Invoker gives you +3 mana, and that gives 21 mana total, which allows Vel'Koz to ult in only 4 auto attacks. Things like the Heimerdinger comp for Invoker is kind of necessary. And given that all the Invoker units are pretty strong themselves, it's not an unreasonable comp to be going.
So Levin here has actually gone for the Skirmishers.
Oh, perfect item Jax.
That is, yeah, that's super, super nasty. So we'll be able to keep up with the Bloodthirster and pump out an absolute ton of damage with the Runans. We are waiting for the Zyra to come through and just murder everyone. It doesn't quite happen though. The Trundle, I think, stole some of Resistances, so stays alive. It's going to be pretty tight towards the end here, but no, Levin gets the win. It's Skirmishers for life.
It's Skirmishers very, very strong. You can see that was just a Jax 1 as well. And also, there's something to note is that Finno slammed a Shiv rather than picking up a blue buff and transferring items to a Karma carry. I think they're trying to stick with Draconic the entire way, which is very, very dangerous when you're sat at 32 HP. Draconic is a high rollers comp. If you're not like winning with Draconic, then there's no point playing Draconic because you're going to die.
I was thinking that maybe they're looking for Draconic 5 at this point. Wow, I guess
they are.
I guess we'll not find out.
Draconic 5 is a high rollers comp because, especially in Draconic 5, the eggs take the chance you get longer to hatch time eggs is higher. So you're going to die very, very quickly because you're not going to get these really good payouts. If you're high rolling anyway, it's great. But if you're not, wouldn't recommend it. As we do see Jax life stealing all the way up, the healing on this unit is absolutely ridiculous.
Oof. As you said, only 1 star at the moment, but still getting some flashbacks of some of the Tryndamere shenanigans from the previous set there. It's Fig Binno down to 32, D-Wolf and Purple's just above, with Pills and Leavin in 3rd and 4th right now. Thunderthry and Dare, though, they are rulers of the roost, up there 90 health or thereabouts each. So they've got a pretty big cushion to take them through stage 4 at least.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these tournaments tend to be fairly skewed anyway because there's a large skill gap in between a lot of players, but even more so, given it's right at the start of the set, and some people don't know what they're doing. I mean, a lot of people don't know what they're doing. The meta is very much unsolved. I think as we saw, like last week, all of a sudden Mordekaiser came out of the woodwork and was the most dominant comp. But for the first 3 days, no one played Mordekaiser. But yeah, so things are undiscovered. Maybe the I mean, obviously skirmishes are fairly discovered, but maybe some of them have some secret tech. Maybe some of them think what they have is secret tech, but it's actually just bad. Who knows?
Also, Dan Dream, sorry, I forgot to say, but thank you for the follow. We'll be doing another TFT tournament in a couple of weeks' time, and eventually I'll get back to actually doing some regular TFT streaming someday, which is definitely not a thing you want to hear if you actually care about regular content. So let's see. So Dare going up against the Abomination comp here. See,
But it's Abomination versus Abomination.
Oh no, the Abominationable Snowmans.
Although Dare's Abomination is the stronger of the two, it does have the rise in for that 4 Abomination as the 3-star Abomination, and is able to beat the slightly better itemized Abom, I think. I've seen some testing of A-Bomb carry, and Death Cap, I think, has become the item of choice.
Oh, really?
Because it gives him lots of... Because his ability gives him a lot of attack speed, right?
Yeah.
And that is based on AP. And he scales really, really hard with AP, with his attack speed. He attacks really fast. So I think optimal A-Bomb items, if you're going for A-Bomb carry, which I wouldn't recommend, would be Death Cap, Shadow Hurricane, and Infinity Edge. Or possibly a Death Blade. But yeah, those to be the items. But yeah, wouldn't recommend. Probably not the best in the world. But maybe in the future, A-Bomb carry will become a thing.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, we're definitely in the very Wild West part of the set where everything is up for debate. So we've got Fig Binno trying to survive here against Abomination. Looks like they should be all right. We are going to get, I think, another ult out of the Abomination before it goes down, so it's going to tear through a couple of units. I think, actually, the Abomination is going to be good enough here with the items it's got right now, and of course, still actually has a Guardian Angel in case it did fall down.
Yeah, had the Guardian Angel, had a CC immunity, so it wasn't able to be yeeted by Syndra. So Syndra's biggest counter is just CC immunity, because you're just so sad when it just says can't be disabled, and then your Syndra just wastes her mana, does no damage. So yeah, that's a thing that can happen, and why Syndra kind of is a bit unreliable at the moment.
Let's see, someone's saying it. They're thinking that Vel'Koz, they're seeing them as being very, very strong at the moment.
Yeah, Vel'Koz is very, very strong.
What is it about the kind of the current setup that's making Vel'Koz so? Is it is it just that the unit itself is super strong, or is it something about the meta itself?
I mean, well, the unit itself is very strong. He does a lot of damage. You can give him a Shojin, and it's very strong. For example, there's a Shojin here. You can slap on the Vel'Koz, and he'll cast very quickly. There's no real damage items for Thunderfry here. But even so, 6 Redeemed gives him AP anyway. Also, the defensive stats from 6 Redeemed makes Vel'Koz very tanky and kind of hard to deal with. So Yeah, it's just a combination of things. Like he's definitely not the strongest in the world, and if people actually know what they're doing, they can position around him fairly easily. But yeah, when people don't know what they're doing, Vel'Koz is very, very strong. We can see Dare is positioned actually quite nicely here. Because he has positioned nicely. I thought that Vel'Koz would be ulting the Victor, but apparently not. So yeah, Vel'Koz's targeting can be a bit odd at times, but as you can see, it can be very, very powerful.
Would you agree with the sentiment that Vel'Koz could have been put through as a 5 cost rather than a 4 cost?
If he had really, really, really good targeting, maybe. Like, if he always targeted the biggest clump of enemies, then sure. But he doesn't, so probably not, because, yeah, his targeting is the issue. He can get, like, bullied by things like GA, because if you didn't know, if Vel'Koz is targeting a unit with GA, and then that unit goes into the GA, he continues targeting them even while they're resurrecting, and can do literally no damage with his entire ultimate. So his targeting is what holds him back, and if people know how to position around him, then yeah, it's fairly easy to beat.
So it's a big difference from the Aurelian Soul, where it's kind of going corner to corner.
Yeah.
So Vel'Koz is targeting the enemy who is nearest to the center of the battlefield for 3 seconds. Which doesn't quite seem to fit with where the Vel'Koz fired there, but at least that's the idea.
Oh yeah, it can be a bit tricky to work out where he's going, although the real trick is just CC him down and then he dies. Also, if you kill him because you happen to have a 3-star Zyra with incredibly strong items, then he will also be sad and die.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess Zyra is probably the closest we've got to Aurelian Soul in the set, haven't we? Because, because she targets in the same kind of way where she will punch through and hit the backline. I think it's Zyra and Thresh who come to mind immediately as kind of backline solutions.
Yeah, they both do a lot of damage in that diagonal format, and it is very powerful for sure. I do believe that Thunderfire is looking for things like I think it's specifically just Ivan to get that 4 Invoker in. Because 4 Invoker is really, really strong if you can get it going.
Not finding it so far though, but
the Garen, okay.
Presumably that's
Garen is also very good.
Alright, so Garen goes straight into the front line. We have got KO back in the mix again, with some ranges. You can see there that the Vel'Koz is doing a good amount of damage, but especially now we've got Kindred in the mix, finishing the job is going to be pretty tough against that KO.
Well, okay, so the thing is about the Redeemed Mirror match is typically Kale wins, but we saw here that the Karma was actually the difference maker.
Oh.
And also the Garen shredding the armor. Yeah, having this Karma as a secondary damage dealer, honestly, it really, really helps. Because it allows the Vel'Koz not to be just completely stopped by the redeemed magic resist.
So we've got a Spellweaver spat in the mix, as a Thunderfire and Dare will get last crack here. Pills currently on 7 life. Very close to being dead, so we'll see if we can catch who they're playing against next as we go out to the more wide game. Gem, unfortunately, haven't been able to persuade D-Wolf to change off of their break stream, so we'll have to make do. So we can see that Finno, they've stuck with the Draconic all the way through Hell and High Water, all the way to level 8. But we'll see if we can spot who's playing against Pills, because I'm trying to remember if we've seen what Pills is running recently.
Yeah, I haven't seen Pills in a while, but yeah, I mean, Finno going for this Draconic, it's a very risky build because, I mean, the Zyra doesn't cast very often. Her mana got really increased quite a lot, and if she doesn't hit the unit, for example, because I don't think she's going to be hitting this Jax here, and she only hits the Pantheon who's ulting, you can see how long it takes her ages to cast, and yeah, it's just not good enough. Although she does actually just one-shot the unit in front of her.
Yeah,
which is pretty good.
So first time missing the big carry, second time not so much though. I think it may not matter given enough time though. It was closer than perhaps we'd anticipated initially. So Pills goes out. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see it happen. But Finno is close to having the same thing happen again to them. We're coming close to stage 6. Surely if Finno's going to change something, and they're on a loss streak right now, it has to happen right now.
No. Oh, they find the Heimerdinger. Oh, they just sold the Udyr. Oh, that is kind of tragic.
Oh, look at that face. Look at that face.
Yeah, you can see he's feeling it. He's like, oh, I shouldn't have sold that Udyr. But he does find the Heimerdinger, which does give Renewer. And Heimerdinger is just a very powerful unit on his own. I mean, you can even make an argument that when you find more Zyras, you can actually just take the Zyra items off the Zyra 3 and put them on the Heimerdinger. But maybe that's a bit too much. If they can win this round and find another Udyr out of maybe one of these eggs, then there's a chance they can get some golden egg going. But they need to win out the rest of the lobby, and I don't really see that happening.
Well, the Heimerdinger did get at least to cast off, though. Oh, in fact, cast it off a couple of times. So Dare, who has their own Heimerdinger, actually loses out ultimately. So the AoE hitting from both angles on Dare squad keeps Finno alive, while Purple's falls in 6th. So we have got a full lobby of tournament players. This is going to matter for our final standings.
Absolutely. I mean, Wolf on a win streak. They were the winner of the previous game. Dare, who had that amazing start, is level 9 and is trying to stabilize there, but kind of struggling. And Finno has an ad, so we're gonna have to watch someone else, I guess.
Let's see. Who haven't we looked at for a while?
We haven't looked at Dare in a while, I don't think.
That's true. I just wanted to see. So right now, wait, no, that's because we're looking at someone else's comp. Right? Okay. I got confused and thought that that could come back to life. But no, not the case.
You know, they were looking at Wolf's board, who is also playing the what was it? The Kale. We do have a second Kale player. Does have a Darius too, who is. It's a bit unusual to have Darius 2 here because a lot of your comp is very magic damage focused, and Darius shreds AD. But you know, a Darius 2 is a Darius 2. He'll tank reasonably well. He gets that nice healing from his thing. So yeah, should be decent. Also shreds armor, and Kale does do physical damage at the start, so not unreasonable.
So am I right in thinking that
get bullied by Wolf a bit there?
Yeah, nice volibear leap in as well. So Kale is pretty much untroubled for most of the early going, because just spot out the Jax trying to work his way through the cluster up in the top middle. Has stayed alive so far, but that Kale is close. Yes, has reached full ascendancy. The Guardian Angel procking. It's gonna be tight, but there just stays alive.
The Kale did eventually get there, but wasn't able to quite kill the Jax before he jumped on her. And given Jax's scaling, it meant that he was just doing basically her entire HP bar in a single attack. So yeah, Kale, honestly, I think if that was Kale 2, it was probably a win. But Kale 1 does end up losing.
Alright, so we'll stick with Dare for the time being. D-Wolf, who won the first lobby, currently on the win streak. Thunderthry and Leavin, though, with the HP pools, even if they don't necessarily have the wins right now. The Kale moved to the middle of the board to try and keep the corner safe. That's probably a sensible move here up against the Vel'Koz, who should be avoided from hitting them for a while. Yeah, that's the first shot. It's cancelled out, actually, by the team-wide CC. Let's see, we have a Daisy dropping in for a play as well as Thunderfry. I think it's going to take a pretty substantial loss.
I think it was going to be pretty substantial, but the last Vel'Koz ult meant that it was only, I think, 3 units in the end. So Thunderfry able to survive out there. And,
of course, yes, it was the summons.
Yes, and I do believe that Leavin did lose to D-Wolf, the team comp, just about too strong. And they do find a Kale 2, which maybe will be enough, because in the mirror match, both Kales more than likely are going to go off. So having the Kale 2 with these items might be enough to beat D-Wolf.
Alright, so coming down to the final moments for Dare. A single loss sends them out of the competition entirely. 2 Kale 2s against each other. Both of them verdanted. Both of them with the Quincy's Rageblade and the Giant... and the Guardian Angel. So it's going to come down to the very end. We've got, of course, also the Kindreds in the mix as well. As the Heimerdinger goes off, it's down to that last Kale, though it's not looking great for D-Wolf, as both of the Kales scaling up at the same speed. There's a ton of damage, but ultimately Wolf is knocked out. No more first places for them.
And yeah, the front line from Dare there was just stronger, and that was a difference maker. Even before the Kales ascended, the front line from D-Wolf was gone. And if you're playing a Kale comp, you need a front line that doesn't die.
Yeah, and right now we've got a good amount of itemization there, but this is a chance for Thunderthry and Levin to change their fortunes. You can see there's a spatula, a lonely spatula hanging out there, never got used. Very sad.
Yeah, just a random Fawn that could have been there. Fawn obviously very, very powerful, allowing you to just play an extra unit, which is never a bad thing. I'm not sure what Levin actually got instead. But honestly, I think they've kind of peaked at this point. Skirmishes is not a first place comp unless you hit Jax 3. You're happy enough getting second or third.
Well, I mean, Levin did come in second in the previous round, so another second place here would be fantastic for them. So we've got a ghost match, so we'll see if we can...
Wait, did he pick up Shadow Fawn?
Surely not.
If he picked up Shadow Fawn, then that would explain why the pings were so heavy. And also, there's a lot of units on this board. There's just a lot of mystics randomly. So yeah, it very well could have been Shadow Fawn, although it appears that it didn't actually matter, because it looks like they died anyway. Although, so Thunderfry did lose to Levin in the end, although Dare did beat the Ghost.
Alright, so there's our boy Skirmisher Jax, providing full quality to knock Thunderfry down to single digits. So we're down to what presumably will be likely the final round for at least Thunderfry or Dare here. I don't know, maybe Skirmishers will manage to crest that mountain with the 4 Mystic in hand.
Oh yeah, for 4 Mystic, yeah, it is a Shadow Fawn there. There are 11 units on the field.
That is so silly.
Which is a lot, I think. Most people would agree that 11 units is a lot. 6 Skirmisher, 4 Mystic, and also a Darius. Very, very good into Thunderfry's comp. Less good into the true damage of the Kale, but maybe this will be enough. But obviously the thing to note is, even if they lose, they're going to die anyway, because it's even though they're at 17 HP, they're going to go third if they lose now, because of just how Shadow Fawn works.
Yes, so doubling up on that player damage is pretty nasty as the Vel'Koz tries their darndest, but they cannot succeed. Dare manages to take Thunderfry out of the competition, leaving still there on 17, down to the final blows being thrown through here. We praised the front line of Dare before. They've got, of course, the previous pickup, the Dragon's Claw, to help enhance that further. Now the Morellos, presumably...
This is utterly worthless, because obviously they already have the Morellos on the Volibear, who is the best user of Morellos in the game. So they're going to be a bit sad about that.
Can they use that with the Heimerdinger? Would that apply to the shots?
Heimerdinger already applies it.
Oh, that's right.
He already has an anti-heal. So, I mean, you can apply the burn, yes, but people aren't healing anyway in this comp. You have the Volibear, you have the Heimerdinger. So, Morello's pretty much not worth it. I do believe that they're going to be trying to find Ironclad, just to try and stop the damage coming out of this Jax. They do have 2 spaces left on their board.
They're also buying up Jaxes.
I think it's just for the Ironclad and nothing else. Okay, that is a Rel 2 as well.
Okay, so that's a very, very solid inclusion there. So a whole bunch of armor across the squad and some solid CC, as well as, I guess, arguably something of a maybe backup carrier. So the Morellos does go on to the Heimerdinger for just a little bit of extra damage. The solid front line here against Levin. Those Skirmishers managing to sneak onto the back. You can see the Nidalee there. Yeah, actually managing to access the Kale pretty early on and will pop the Guardian Angel, so that's not too shabby. And that is going to allow for the Skirmishers. I think they've actually gone and done it.
Yeah, Skirmishers do end up winning here. The Shadowfall obviously helped out a lot. But yeah, they just didn't have the damage to burst down the Jax. That's typically what happens in the Skirmisher matchup. If Jax gets going, gets his ramping attack speed and ramping attack damage, even if you cut his healing in half, he's still healing massive amounts. He's still doing massive amounts of damage, so it's very hard to beat. Yeah, very well done to Levin there for winning with, obviously, the best comp in Skirmishers.
All right, very nicely done. So we'll have a 5-minute break or so before we kick things off. It looks like I'll just have to check some things in the break just to make sure everything's kept up to date. But stick around, everyone. Our last round coming up soon. Howdy, howdy, everybody, and we're about to get into our third round of play, our third and final round of play so far. For anyone who's just tuning in now, we've seen our fair share of silly shenanigans, and we did start to think after game one maybe it would be a Kale day, but apparently Improbable Blob, joining me on commentary for today's competition, that nothing can overwhelm the power of the Shadow Force of Nature.
Oh yeah, Shadow Force of Nature, 2 extra units is insane. And yeah, was able to tack in all those mystics, right? And able to beat out all those AP comps.
Yeah, we definitely didn't have very high expectations of the skirmishes otherwise, but you know, a very, very solid performance there. We are waiting on Dare to show up, just giving them a couple of minutes to do so, and then I think we'll have to go on without them, just so we can get things done. So someone's asking, Shadow Force of Nature, how does it work exactly? Bob, how are we differentiating this from a regular Force of Nature?
Okay, so regular Force of Nature gives +1 team size. Shadow Force of Nature gives +2 team size. However, if you lose, you take double damage. So it's very first or eighth. I've seen people who have hit Shadow Force of Nature early on either go 8th or 1st. It's a very dangerous item, but if you find it later on, as we saw, it's very good.
Okay, let's see. So we've got, just checking who the actual lobby leader is at the moment. That is, I'm trying to figure out. Where's the host symbol?
I have no idea.
It's D-Wolf. Okay. Alright, so Dare did ask us to kick him out if they didn't come back, since I think they possibly anticipated they may be more time than they had hoped for. Perhaps it's one of those things where you don't know quite how long you're going to be. So that's a shame. We love having Dare around, but sadly they can't be here for the last game. But we can at least have a last game. So a interesting facet about the Force of Nature is that you don't have to put it on a throwaway unit. It actually works from your bench. Though some people like to put the Force of Natures on units just as a flex.
Oh yeah, it gives them a crown, right? How can you not give your favorite unit a little crown? I'm not actually sure if the Force of Darkness, as it's called, gives a crown or not. I'll have to see, because it's such a rare item that I rarely see it actually played.
Yes, I'm not a huge fan personally of the sort of the TFT design idea of let's put some stuff in the game that's super freaking broken, but it doesn't show up enough that people get really mad about it. Like in this case, the Shadow Force of Nature being absurdly strong.
It is absurdly strong, but it also has an incredible downside. If you lose, you're taking 30 damage around, even in like stage 2 or 3. Oh no, stage 3 or 4. And you will take 50 damage in stage 6.
Well, I think we might get another Shadow Force of Nature in this game, because it's the spatula start. I mean, this is a great opportunity, as you know, obviously a dramatically higher level player than I am. If you are on this kind of carousel, I always tend to really suffer from too much going on. There's too many potential directions you can go with a spatula. How do you feel about a spatula start? Where would you go?
I mean, obviously it depends. There are so many things you can do with spatula start. It's just a flexible item, and you see what you get, and then you go from there. I know that's a bit of a cop-out, but
it's
genuinely that's
100%
what the answer is.
Come on, give me some really busted stuff. If we're looking towards the late game, what kind of spatula are you going to be the most happy to have if you make it all the way to level 9, for instance?
Well, as I think I said, the most capped comp is the Renewer Heimerdinger Invoker comp. So if you get a Renewer spat, that's probably one to go for. I mean, Ironclad spat, as generic as boring an item as it is, can also be very, very powerful. Skirmisher spat can be very, very good early on. Because 6 Skirmisher early game is probably the most broken thing. It's just so much shielding and AD. So yeah, I mean, there are a lot of spats, and late game it's probably Renewer spat, just because the Renewers are very, very powerful.
Alright, we'll keep our eye on our players. So for this game, we have got ourselves Wolf, Finno, Mr. Duck, and Thunderfighter. And yes, the exciting news is that Mr. Duck feels like they have proven the strength of their particular game variant in games 1 and 2 by coming 8th in both of them. And now, in game number 3, it's time for serious mode. Mr. Duck will no longer be playing Duck mode.
The real tragic thing is, if Duck still goes 8th in serious mode, then that is going to be a little bit heartbreaking, because at that point you may as well have played your silly mode anyway.
It's true. Alright, so what have we got going on here? So, we've got Renewer down here from Thunderfighter in the early going, and they're thinking about locking down that Renewer early on, but this does, I mean, that would mean that you get a lot earlier access to 4 Renewer, presumably.
Absolutely, because the 4th Renewer is Ivan, who's a 4 cost. Now you're just missing a Soraka for that incredible power, and your units will be unkillable in the early game with 4 Renewer.
And I think we've got a pretty good idea of what Pills has got in mind, since they've got themselves some early Hellions, and I think they've actually got a bow on bench as well, if I didn't miss my mark.
Yeah, they do have a bow. They have a chain vest as well, so that's a good defensive item for your Poppy. They don't have the shadow bow, which is the dream for the Hellion spat.
Oh, of course.
I mean, normal bow is pretty good for getting those shivs in for 6.
All right, so we're on to that first armory, which potentially would have those shadow items coming in. So I imagine that we might start to actually see some of our players slamming down at those spatula items, though. Even here in set 5, there's some of the, I guess we never actually got the chosen Goliaths in set 4. I wouldn't mind seeing spatula item completions getting shouted out from the scoreboard as well, since it's such a once a game kind of thing.
Well, very much not once a game when everyone has one, but
That's
yes,
true.
that would be interesting. We do see a couple of Redeem spats being slammed, so people are probably going for a Vel'Koz build. I actually really, really like Redeem spat, because so many of the Redeem units aren't very good. It makes it so much easier.
Alright, so we know to keep an eye out for Thunderfighter with the Renewer. Let's check in with Wolf. So, we've actually got enough results to have meaningful standings at this point. So let's see who's at the top. Leavin with 15 points, D-Wolf with 13, Dare with 12, tied with Thunderfire. Of course, Dare will not be taking part in this round, so will not be able to win. But then beyond there, it drops down quite dramatically into the single digits. So we're really looking for Leavin, Wolf, and Thunderfire to potentially be our tournament winners as a result of this game.
And Wolf has a pretty good start here, so they're looking decent. They did get the Nico opener, which is always a bit tragic. But they have a pretty strong wall. Look at all these 2-stars. They have incredible frontline, pretty strong backline with this Kalista, and they haven't even had to slam any items yet.
Yeah, keeping their options open for the time being. It's kind of impressive. You would have expected, the win-streaking players to be the ones who did make that commit in early on. You mentioned the redeemed spatula being completed. That's gone on to an early Ash for Fig Binno. You can see purples and also going for the redeemed. So that's going to be really bad news when you are tied to playing redeemed in some form for the rest of the game, and you will therefore be contested for the rest of the game.
I think that's why they slammed it so early, because it's like, okay, I'm going redeem, don't contest me. I mean, it helps that Finio has his 2-star looks before even the first carousel, which is absolutely insane. But yeah, being contested always sucks.
I've been experimenting personally a little bit with Lux, and she seems to be super strong if itemized. Like, if you've got
even without items, she's super strong.
I mean, yeah, the shield is absolutely massive. The almost invisible pop of damage she gets after casting as well.
It is always funny that the auto looks exactly the same as an auto, but it just happens to do 1,000 damage. So units just explode out of nowhere, and I love it.
Yes, that definitely needs to have some kind of effect on it, just so it's clear what the heck's going on. Let's look at the lobby overall, though. So Leavin and D-Wolf, 2 players who are currently the top players in our casual competition. They are undefeated, and a strong start for them means that it's unlikely we'll see them drop down far enough to really get shifted from at least being in our top 4 overall.
Yeah, they are obviously doing very, very well. 100 HP start, always nice. If you can keep this into the neutrals, even better. Although some of these boards are going to be very strong, like the Shadow Shojin Lux might be good enough to beat some of those boards.
So yes, so the Shadow Shojin, reducing the damage you deal but increasing the amount of mana generated from each hit, means we're going to see a ton of shields. We can see there, it gets off of that first auto attack. There is the mana lockout until the cast is done, so it's not just permanent shields across the entire board, but it's suddenly an absolute ton of health that's coming through. I think it might be enough to break down Thunderfry here. It's going to be pretty tight. The isolation damage is going to kick in now for the Kha'Zix, so those shields, they're going to have to work overtime to keep the Lux alive.
And she also gets the extra resistances from Redeemed, and 670 damage every time she autos is nothing to sniff at.
Oh boy, that crit saw nearly 1500 damage.
Along with the overtime damage as well, so yeah. As we saw, very, very powerful build indeed.
Close to
Although
picking
obviously
up...
it doesn't have 6 Redeemed yet.
Yes, and it's always kind of thrown off a little bit. We've got the absence of Chosen now, so you literally cannot hit 6 Redeemed at level 5, even as much as I've kind of gotten used to that idea being the case. So we've got a chance to slip in some other synergies here if it makes it stronger. We've got the Ranger to push the Ashe a little bit further, still relying entirely on the 1-star Leona frontline.
1-star Leona frontline. I mean, Lux is essentially frontline with those shields though, right? Although they are against Danje, who I think is the random, with level 6, which is unusual.
Yeah, they've committed all of their gold in towards leveling, so they are as strong as they likely are going to be. They look like they're running Cavaliers, and they might actually be strong enough just by sheer weight of numbers to be able to overwhelm here. There's no itemization, but the stuns are raining in. The damage is not huge, but Lux is already pretty low, and she's going to get stunned up by the Sejuani, and Fig Bino goes down. A surprise loss there to a high commitment random player.
Yeah, level 6 already is kind of ridiculous. You typically just never see that unless people are messing around. But I mean, it can work if it means you keep your win streak, although they don't actually have a win streak. They're at 90 HP. They must have lost to Levin, who has an interesting build there.
Let's check around the place. Let's check in with, of course, the #1 headline grabber, Mr. Duck, playing serious mode this time, and that serious mode has been manifested in Abominations. No, wait. Hold the phone. It's not going to be Abominations, at least long term. It's going to be a Dawnbringer comp.
Yeah, has the Dawnbringer spat. Obviously, very good spat. Has a rod for the Karma already. No tears, though, which is unfortunate.
Yes, they won't be able to fully rely on that. We have got carousels coming up, and Mr. Duck is on the bottom of the scoreboard right now, so they should be able to get pretty good early grabs on that, but limited time to find that tier. For now, the Abomination isn't actually active. It's been put instead onto 4 Dawnbringer. There's no Callista to get the big Abomination in.
I mean, there were 2 Callistas at the previous shop, so I'm very confused as to why Callista wasn't played. I mean, there was an option for, because you have Legionnaire with the Rivener as well, so that could have been a very strong board, but apparently only Dawnbringers allowed.
Yes, really, going in hard on making sure that synergy is built up as much as possible. Unfortunately, the stream quality is not quite what we want it to be there. So let's check in with Thunderfighter, the other side of the equation. They're up against our random Danje. They have managed to keep the Renewer dream alive with the Vladimir. They haven't actually managed to get through to the Renewer 4 as of yet, which is kind of surprising.
No Soraka apparently is what's going on here. Although they do have the Covenant, which is pretty good, buffing up this Vladimir so that he gains the AP and extra mana casts, essentially becoming immortal.
My immortal. I'm familiar with that particular property. Exciting stuff. And a strong start here. So the Renewer spat currently just getting our good friend Kha'Zix to stick around for a little bit longer, but Thunderfry in 3rd place right now with leaving it up. Undefeated, the only undefeated player at #1. Purples on the other end of the scoreboard at 72, along with Mr. Duck and Fig Bino all in the 70s. So a pretty rough start for our bottom 3.
Absolutely, and it can happen. But I mean, 70 HP is not that bad. Like, you sometimes see people be at like 60 HP at this stage, which is when you really need to start worrying. But But yeah, 70 HP, it's fine. And if you look at Purple's boards, they've clearly tried to stabilize. I think they've got 6 redeemed in there. They've got the Rail, they've got the 2-star Nautilus, they have a Shiv 2-star Varus in the back as well. So they're doing pretty well for themselves.
Yeah, so it's worth noting that Purple's is also, yes, going by the amount of pool floats they have there. They have spent out pretty heavily to get to that place of stabilization. So they're going to have to build back up their economy over time. We have got that second, or that 2-star Lysandra coming in. Close to maybe moving into a pretty strong level 6 once that Soraka does arrive.
Yeah. The thing to note here is that they are not using items on their bench. They have 6 items there, which is typically a sign that they're not planning on winning, right? No, lose streaking is perfectly reasonable. It's trying to get better item priority on the carousel. Okay,
no, I guess that's a little bit more reasonable. But yes, I think maybe if you phrase that as not planning on win streaking, I would have...
Oh yeah, that's probably a better way to say it, rather than just be like, yeah, they want to lose the game.
That's the number one strap. So up against D Wolf here, who's gone for a redeemed Aphelios. That's pretty fun. Let's see. So yeah. Oh wait, D Wolf. That makes a 3rd redeemed player in the lobby.
Everyone likes redeemed, apparently.
Why do you? Well, I don't. I'm asking for a little bit of my reading here, Blob. But why do you think so many people are going for redeemed?
I think it's because people hit redeemed. And you play what you hit, right?
Fair enough.
I think that's all there is to it. If you find a lot of redeemed early and you have the item for a redeem spat, it feels bad not to slam it and be a strong player in the early game.
I guess there are a lot of redeems knocking around in the early going, so
yes, absolutely.
I guess the temptation's definitely going to be pretty strong there too, especially to hit up that 2nd tier of redeemed. Let's see, so that's, I believe, is Pills.
Yep.
Who I don't think has so far found their way through to Hellion Spatula. So they'll be sitting at 6 Hellion for the time being until they do. But they're in 2nd place right now with all of this setup, so yeah, all credit to them. They've managed to ride through the early game pretty damn well.
Absolutely. It does look like Thunderfire is, now that they've found the Ivan on the carousel, going to move their early game to a slightly more powerful build in this Zyra.
Okay, so Renewer Zyra, so she's going to be able to get her mana back that much quicker. And of course, we've got the 4 Renewer, so the front lines should be able to soak a lot of the damage as well. Mr. Duck, I think it's going to... You see already, that's how quickly Thunderfry evaluated the board and said, looks like I'm going to win this one. I'll just go check out what the rest of the lobby's doing.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's always good to be like, okay, I don't actually care about my like, obviously, being here for the fight is exciting and all, but it doesn't actually do anything. So you may as well use this time to scout rather than watch the fireworks, I guess.
That's true. They're really, I guess the only thing you really get from watching the match itself is just to see if there's any tweaks you need to make to your positioning, perhaps. But everything seems to be working fine so far. There's not a ton of room for people to get into and access this backline Zyra. So she's covered, she's renewed, she's everything she needs to be able to cause a massive nuisance. Though, one of the nuances of the way that the Coven works means that she's not cornered.
Yes. Positioning Coven, especially on a non-Coven unit, can be very tricky. And yeah, this Zyra could be hit by a Kha'Zix fairly easily, and obviously that'd be bad for her.
We see what Fig Bino's been up to. So they are one of our 3 committed redeemed players in the lobby, and they are relying on a Lux to help them through this early setup. So I believe that's the... Is that the Shadow Shojin we saw from before? I'm trying to remember back.
Yeah, that is the Shadow Shojin, and it means that the damage from the Lux is lower, but she doesn't really care. She's just trying to shield. And she does end up just popping that Vladimir. She's doing respectable damage.
Yeah.
Respectable damage from that Lux.
It does seem like an odd combination, though, to have the... Unless you're intending long term to try and sort of split up the Shadow Spear and the Jewel Gauntlet to kind of have a damage decreasing item combined with a damage increasing item to just sort of end up where you started.
Yeah, it is a bit of a weird choice, but maybe it'll work. We'll have to see. I mean, the Shadow Shojin is just a very good item for those utility champions. So maybe it'll go on them event anyway, and you just have the dual gauntlet on the Vel'Koz as intended.
I suppose it makes sense where you don't, where you're kind of only worrying about damage as half of your reason why you're playing the unit in the first place. We're up to level 7 for Thunderfry, so this is a chance they get for the Vel'Koz, and they will get it straight away. So they've got themselves a renewer, presumably gonna see Hextech Gunblade dual gauntlet on there.
Yeah, Hextech Gunblade. Maybe, I don't know. They might go for Shojin here, although yeah. So there are options. You can go for Shojin to cast faster. You can go for Gunblade so you don't die. But the thing is, Renewer does both of those things anyway. So it really depends which one you prefer to have, because obviously you already have both.
I guess I could see the argument for the Hextech Gunblade, maybe just to make sure that Vel'Koz stays at max health, so that he's constantly getting renewed to the health bar, rather than having any of that wasted on, coming back up to full health from some minor damage they've taken.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's one of those things where apparently the actual answer by Thunderfry is, I'll wait for the armory and see what I get there.
Yeah, well, can't say worse than that. So, let's see. So right now, there's a ton of items for Thunderfry to commit in, but they're still doing pretty well despite having not done that. Shadow Sword and a Cloak. Look, it's like it will be a second Shadow Cloak here. I'm curious as to what they've got in mind.
There is a fun option here for double Chalice of Malice on the Ivan, and then you go Gunblade on the Vel'Koz, or either Gunblade or like Infinity Edge or Dual Gauntlet. And I mean, double Chalice of Malice is a lot of AP given, and Ivan doesn't care about AP, right? Okay, only a single Chalice of Malice so far.
Yeah, so this will suck the AP out of the item holder and give it to their neighbours, including that Vel'Koz. You're right. I presume that, if I remember, I think the Daisy damage is the one thing that scales off of AP for Ivan, but
it's either damage or HP, not sure which. If it's HP, then obviously you don't want it on the Ivan because she's a good frontliner. But if it's damage, then absolutely.
Let's see, because I know that Ivan, when he gets a cast when Daisy's still out, gives her more AP. Let's see. Yes, Ivan gives Daisy 100% of his ability power, and that is the damage of the spell. But actually, Pills has got a Hellion Spatula. It's on the bench right now because they've
Wait, the Hellion Spatula is even a smaller item. I didn't even know that. That's hilarious.
Well, there we go.
Okay. Riot doing well there. Apparently moving the Leona more frontlined? Question mark? Despite the fact that you want to buff your Vel'Koz?
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there. Presumably this is going to change last second. Maybe they're
probably
planning on selling them? Alright, well, just to touch back on the Pills point here. So they've been re-rolling for the 3 stars, but now they've got the opportunity to go up to 7 Hellion. I mean, what does this mean for the rest of the lobby?
It means I have to be scared of this Ziggs because he's outputting a lot of damage. Shiv plus Rageblade plus 7 Hellion. That's a lot of lightning going around.
So up against Liebin here, who I think is going to struggle to get through to the Vel'Koz. We've got the critical spell setup, which has been with us for at least, I'm trying to remember how many sets it's been with us for, but a while.
I think it was set 1.
Really? Was it all the way back to set 1?
Glove was introduced late into set 1. I remember it became the Yordle spat. I'm fairly sure Dual Gauntlet was there this entire time, although it wasn't actually that picked an item until Death Cap was nerfed.
Yes, those two have always been long-term companions. We've got another Teemo. So maybe Pills is going to want to pick that one, and of course, if Pills hadn't gotten the Hellion Spatula, they'd be very happy to see the Shadow Bow. As it is, they have. Maybe we see a world in which there's not going to be a second Hellion Spatula, surely.
I mean, if Pills happens to find another Spatula, then double Hellion Spat will come in. And it means you can take out one of the worst. Hellions probably... I'm not actually sure what Pills has. It'll be one of the non-3-starred ones. I'm not sure if they're 3-starred Poppy or Kled. But yes, absolutely. Okay, there's another Chalice of Malice. Maybe going for a third Chalice if they find another Cloak on the Raptors.
Alright, so Thunderfry will be fishing for the Vel'Koz roll, but I think they'll stay pretty much stable where they are. Let's check in with Finno, seems like he's having a good time. Yeah, he's looking at what we've got right now and is very impressed with what he's seeing.
Pills is not level 7. You can't put it in the Hellion spat. He rolled all his money and doesn't have enough to level.
Oh no! So Fig Binno, they've got their own concerns here. They've got actually 2 spatula items. They've got the Spellweaver in there as well, so they're going to be getting extra AP as well as that additional AP whenever there's any further casts. So,
okay, that's a lot of damage.
It's a lot of damage, but there's a lot of shields from Lux as well. She's been building up her AP, and Purple's dropped. Kablam!
Okay, so apparently the tech is you go AP Lux, and it will carry you through the entire game. Shown here first by Finno.
Pills is saying it's called Munchkin.
Yes, Pills likes calling it Munchkins. I've heard no one else call it Munchkins apart from Pills.
I think Pills, as the only Hellion player, has got the ability to refer to the comp as a name. You know, admittedly, it's literally just Hellion, so it's a little hard to kind of give it its own name.
I mean, well, people have been giving random names to comps as long as TFT has existed, so I can't blame him for trying to give his own name.
Okay, so the Shadow Bow ended up, as we actually get to see Pills in the flesh, ended up going into a tier to allow for the Shadow static shift, which is absurdly strong on this incredibly fast
there are 2
attacking
Hellion
thing.
spats on the bench.
Wait,
the second one underneath Pills is still Legend.
Oh
so
my
I think that's where the
gosh.
Timo spat went.
That is beyond ridiculous. So they must have gotten... I don't know if they got 2 Shadow Bows during the course of the game, but...
They must have had at least 2, right?
So, okay. This is a chance here to see something which we just haven't seen before. I'm going to dive into... actually, I'll put this to you, Blob, and I'll check the stats afterwards. The Hellion Spatula, you know, or Hellion Emblem. I think, let's just go with Hellion Spatula. Who do you think these 2 Hellion Spatulas would be most effective on?
Heimerdinger.
That is correct. That is, in fact, instantly the best one. But what?
Yeah, I'm aware that Heimerdinger is the best user of Hellion Spat. I'm not sure who the second best is. If I had to guess, it's probably Garen.
Let's see. So the meta TFT kind of orders things in a little bit of a weird way. But going by pure win rate, the second best is actually Kindred. Presumably.
Okay, fair enough. I suppose I was going for the AP reduction that Garen gives, but I suppose Shiv already does that, so Kindred makes a lot of sense.
Volibear comes in second. Comes in just behind Kindred on pure win rate. Though
I imagine that's a bit skewed because Volibear did just get nerfed.
Yes, and this is based on whether you topped one. So Pills has got a second static shiv for you to be able to just remove all magic resist on the opposing team. They are building back up their economy again. So as exciting as Pills' comp is to watch right now, it's gonna get massively better once level 7 comes around.
Absolutely, and it looks like they are actually going to lose to Ducky here. But once next turn comes around and they level up and they take out, I think, Kled for a couple more units and throw some Hellion spats on, things are going to get ridiculous very, very quickly.
Alright, so Mr. Duck playing on full commitment mode. Let's see, so they looked directly at the Karma. They decided not to go for it. They've already got the 2-star Karma in, but you mentioned the itemization. An issue here for Mr. Duck on what should presumably be one of their carries is currently completely bare of items.
Yeah, well, the issues here is they got exactly 1 tier this game. They don't have any rod items on the Karma, and yeah, it's just kind of all doomed. I mean, the comp is fine for now, but I expect it's going to go downhill very, very quickly once people actually start getting comps together.
So, I don't know quite what we're looking at here from Levin, but it looks like it's an Assassin Rise setup.
Okay, what I think was the plan from leaving here was they tried to go Assassin, Shadow, Blue Buff, GA, Rise, and try and emulate the old LeBlanc, because Rise does not have the mana lock, similar to how LeBlanc was. However, obviously Rise, if he's stuck in the backline, doesn't take any damage, but if he's an Assassin, then he does take damage, and it does exactly the same thing that it used to. However, it didn't hit a second tier, so unfortunate.
All right, I think Wolfex may have dropped their stream. I'm just going to quickly have a check and see if that is the case. Maybe we need to do a bit of reloading. Are they still live? Oh, they are. Okay, I don't know what's going on there. Let's try and restart their stream, and we can get another POV. All right, I'm going to reload multi-stream. Sorry about this, guys.
Yes, my favourite thing to cast, a black screen.
There we go. We'll be back in a second. There we go. All back up and running again, so we can actually check in on what Wolf is doing. And it's a good time to do it because they are almost dead, running themselves a Legionnaire Vel'Koz. So that is a speedy attacking Vel'Koz, along with the Mordekaiser, who, as you noted, has been garnering a lot of attention recently.
And that is a redeemed Mordekaiser as well, so he gets pretty good stats out of it, and is able to beat Ducky fairly easily. The thing to note here is it's a 1-star Vel'Koz with a Nico on the bench. So Wolf is going to be really annoyed that they're just sat here, not able to fully make use of this Vel'Koz. Although there is a Spellweaver spat they can go for, maybe? Okay, no, they go for the Warlock, not the Warlocks, the Morellos. Also note that they're sat at 5 redeemed, which is not great.
And we've got 4 players in the lobby who are on single-digit health, while the top 4, I would say the top 1%, but in this case the top 50%, will be able to ride out quite a few rounds without having to worry about being instantly murdered. Still though, our bottom 4, they've got nothing to lose, so they're committing in full resources from this point forwards.
Oh no, there's the Vel'Koz. I mean, I think the answer here is you sell this Kindred, and you buy the Rise and the Vel'Koz, and then you have your Mystic still. Like, so you don't have Kindred 2, which would be amazing, but the Vel'Koz 2 is really needed, and you're at 3 HP, so you've got to do something.
Tough
choices. The answer is just lock and hope.
I mean, this is what TFT is supposed to be about, isn't it? You know, you've got the tough choices. It's Vel'Koz versus Vel'Koz, but as you said, it's only the 1-star Vel'Koz for D-Wolf, so they're going to have to rely on that Mordekaiser to get the job done here. We'll be able to get that first hit off, take out the Rel. The Vel'Koz is firing past each other, so no kill on either one that side. The Mordekaiser on the opposite side of the board means that
and Kindred ult saved the Vel'Koz there, but I don't think it's going to save them again.
No, it's not enough. D-Wolf gets knocked to the ground, so that is our 2nd place overall player, as our random actually picks up 3-star Hecarim. What the heck?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what their comp is. Looks like jank to me. But they managed to survive, and, you know, if you're not dead, then you have hope.
Yeah, it must be doing something, right? Let's see. Big Bino. With the redeemed setup here, looks like it's going to be more Vel'Koz action, as we've got Spellweaver redeemed Heimerdinger for Fig Bino.
Yeah, just give him all the synergies. He already has 3, but, you know, why not more?
I mean, you know, talk about your trait bots up against Mr. Duck, who is close to dead. The Dawnbringers are going to heal back up pretty quickly, but they only get to that a single time. And the second Vel'Koz ult is tearing through. The Karma, as we said, the big weakness of Mr. Duck's comp was that Karma just could not get going. Mr. Duck is out of here.
Yeah, they didn't go 8th, so clearly a slightly superior way of playing than the Duck mode. However, we do have our top 4 who are fairly far ahead of everyone else, fighting it out for this first place spot.
And yeah, we had that whole situation with the 4 players on single digits, and they're all dead. So maybe the stronger early game is the way to go.
Yes. Right, we do find a GA here, which is pretty good for this Garen, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, keeping that front line intact is certainly going to help a ton. Is that a 2-star Vel'Koz in the mix now for Figbino?
it is a 2-star Vel'Koz. I think they had it for quite a while.
Oh,
Also, a
that's
2-star Rel with a Morello's, which doesn't work. But luckily, there's Morello's on the Hamidu anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yes, I think I got confused about it the first time. I think it's very similar to the Rakan in the previous set, where they don't do any damage at all, presumably by design, given that it's such a massive AoE across the whole team.
Yeah, so it actually does no damage, and therefore Morello doesn't proc. The same with things like Gunblade. So it's always good to know what things do.
All right, so
Did I actually find the Kale?
yeah, sneaking in very, very last second there. Has the Guardian Angel to be able to keep her up throughout the fight, as it's up against Pills, who has reached level 8. So, where did they end up putting the spatulas? Onto the Viego? And where did the other one go? I think they're already dead.
Onto Tarek.
Ooh, interesting.
And yeah, the Vel'Koz laser just tearing through these Helians as they come out the portal, instantly killing them. Probably the worst matchup for the Hellions, as Vel'Koz doesn't care if you're coming out of a portal or not.
Oh my gosh, yes, that is very unfortunate. Especially considering, presumably, this is the best we could hope out of the Hellion lineup. You know, the double Hellion spatula couldn't get any stronger, but maybe the Hellion enhanced units aren't quite where they need to be as of yet.
Oh yeah, they're I think it's a 1-star Tarek or 1-star Vel'Koz. There's no Heiminega that we talked about, which would be nice. I think an Ivan would be good as well. We do see Leven has still the assassin things, which is also good into those Hellions, because it means that the units just get killed. So yeah, it's a lot of bad matchups, I think, is the issue here.
We do see a little bit of the Katarina trying to make her way through, but unfortunately not quite strong enough to survive the laser of death. The Leven gets chunked. You can see there the animation for the Wukong bonk doesn't actually show any damage coming in. It's just a big old bonk.
Yeah, it's still a bit delayed from when the damage actually registered, which can cause some confusion, especially because the other thing that can cause confusion is if you buy Teemo before you die, it can delay the spells. Also, that's a Rise 3. Oh dear.
Alright, so we're down at 2. Our 3 POVs. Leven picking up a 3-star Katarina as well. Mr. Duck, thank you for the raid. Mr. Duck, of course, being knocked out. Done with their stream for the time being. Let's check in with what Finno's doing here against Thunderfry. They both got a good amount of health left. They've both got Vel'Koz who's never crossed the streams!
I believe the front line from Thunderfry is too much to deal with here. Level 9, kind of making the difference. Also, it's a stronger itemization on the Vel'Koz. That double chalice coming in clutch.
So Thunderfry coming into the last section of this match with the most health on the win streak as well. Surely, Blob, they've got this one in the bag.
No, because Leven has a 3-star Rise.
We'll see if we can find Leven on at least somebody.
Yeah, you can see that 3-star Assassin Rise. I don't think anything is going to be able to beat that. It's just, I think it's like a 5-second stun and does a lot of damage as well, especially with the Assassin and the Shadow Hodge. So yeah, I mean, if this Rise loses, then I think Rise is just bad.
It may have been done for a meme, but it made a dream come true. It's Coven Rise. Oh my
Coven
god.
Rise. Yes, the secret tech.
Alright, we should be able to catch the Rise on one of these screens. There we go. I think we found at least the ghost.
It doesn't matter if it's a ghost or not, it's going to just pop people. At least that's the hope. It better pop people.
So there's that first cast coming through. Gonna get denied a lot of by... Oh wait, it's gonna say get denied by the Kindred, but no, that's not gonna be the case. All of the Coven is gone already. So Figbino falls to the biggest meme of the competition, which also proves to be the deadliest meme.
Absolutely, and it's I think that was 12,000 damage out of Rise, and it didn't even look like he was doing very much at all. So that's not even as strong as he can be. Very, very powerful. I mean, it's a 3-star forecast. What can you expect?
Okay, I think we'll... I'm trying to figure out who's got the best stream quality for our final encounter. I think it's pretty much the same, honestly. So, Wolfix, thank you for sticking around and providing the POV to glance around the place. So, you've got the double Chalice of Malice enhanced Vel'Koz. Will be jumped all over by assassins very quickly and almost goes down, but stays alive by a hair's breadth. No, the rise is too strong.
Yeah, it's a 3-star rise. Like, sure, the Vel'Koz does a lot of damage. This would be arguably one of the strongest comps you could make, but it's a 3-star full cost, so you just say, oh well, I'll take the second.
I am very upset that Pills got knocked out in 4th with that Hellion setup there. I do wonder if maybe if they, if Pills have been able to manage their money to have a little quicker of access to those higher levels, maybe we'd be looking at a Pills lobby.
Maybe we would, because yeah, they were stuck at those low levels. They weren't able to get 7 Hellion in, even though they had the Hellion spat. And that was kind of the issue. We do see Thunderfry going down to 1, buying that Teemo, and then selling everything.
Interesting. So, are we going for some kind of legendary comp to end us out here then?
I'm not sure what's going on here. They just sold their entire board. Maybe they tried to go for a 3-star forecast. Okay, they just sold their entire.
I feel like this is a creative use of the surrender function here. There you go. You didn't beat me, 3-star rise. I beat my own team out of the entire map. There we go. So leaving a strong end to the competition there. So let's get those final results in and find ourselves our final winner. Let's see.
I mean, I think Levin won twice there. Once with the Jacks, once with 3-star rise. So I think it's likely that they win, right?
So Levin, Thunderfry, Finno. Tragically, Pills only making it to 4th. I really want to see those Hellions do well. Mr. Duck, a random, the D-Wolf, and then Purples. Oh no, wait, sorry, Purples wasn't here?
Yeah, Purple's here. Purple's came 8th.
Oh, that's right. Yes, sorry, my brain stopped working. That's right. All right, so let's save all of that because yes, we had a missing player and a random. So that's threw me off there. So hopefully I've got those results right. Honestly, it doesn't matter too much if I didn't. All right, let's pop down to our players because we need to get our final draw sorted out and tell everyone what the final points are. Hurrah!
Second is Thunderfry.
Hey, how you guys doing? Yeah.
Almost got it.
Hello.
I guess spoilers, yes, was if you're just looking at the bracket, you can tell what the standings are. Mr. Duck almost made it out of 8th with 7 points. Purples and Pills with 8 points come in tied 6th. Dare unfortunately couldn't make it to the very end, so end up sitting on their 13 points from before. Finno just above on 14. D-Wolf with 16. Thunderfry in 2nd with 19. And leaving after showing the power of the Assassin Rise, a deserved final game win and kingship of the tournament. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I think I've been last for like the past 3
I do have to thank
tournaments.
Finno. Like, I was originally going to go Assassin Morgana, but then Finno said I had to go Rise, and then I had a 2% Rise at like 3-1. So I also have to thank Finno for giving me the strategies.
Oh,
Wait, actually,
Yeah.
Finno made it.
If I beat you, actually, it's a good thing you beat me. If I won the final 2, we tied it first, right? And tie isn't fun.
Why is my name always spelt wrong on this spin thing?
I haven't put your name here right yet.
Oh, it was last time. It's from the last spin, that's why.
It's because you're hated.
Oh,
I'm not hated.
He normally just gives up with my name, so I just find that
you
funny.
lot.
Is it double L or single L? It's a little hard to tell.
Single L.
Oh, right, that'll be why.
You
Because
should know what it was there for, because you can remember my nicknames from high school, I would assume.
nope.
Yeah, see,
friend at high
the
school.
42 means born in 1942, so you two have such old memories.
That's true.
He
I
just-
remember the
He
war.
just gives up on writing mine, and I like it.
All right, have we got everyone in there? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4.
That is
8.
it.
All right,
Yep.
so please, so if you're not already, please do come by Counterfeit Caster stream because we're going to do our final draws, and I need you to confirm in the chat that you are actually here. Otherwise, we'll draw it to someone else. So first of our 2 eggs. Whoa! It's Senor asleep. There.
Just there.
Yay.
Not here.
Hey,
There. Are you here, or are we gonna have to give it to someone else?
He is not here.
He's definitely
Didn't even
not
come
here.
back. Oh, what a schmuck.
No, he has not came back yet.
What a schmuck. All right, it's gonna go to someone else then.
That's the longest be right back, you know.
Could it be
At least
it's
without
spelled
him.
correctly? It's pill. Pills?
Short for Pillsbury Doughboy.
Does that not have 2 L's in it? I feel like it should.
Don't think so. Plus, I wanted to take it away from me looking like, or sounding like a druggie.
No, Pillsbury does have 2 L's, so you're just spelling it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fellas has spelled his username wrong
I
this
assumed it
entire
was to do with
time.
Pilsner, or like, you know,
Alright,
I
so
think big alcoholic vibe.
Thanks. First
you-
time I've won it.
what little legend leg do you want? You can have
I would like Nimblefoot if I could, please.
you can have an egg. The buying the individual ones are really fucking expensive.
Oh, in that case, one of the new ones.
Alright, whatever the newest one is.
Yeah, please.
Alright, and our second winner will be it's just ticking
It's
over
happening.
into Finno.
We
Finno,
did it.
what
Hey.
would you like your reward to be?
I agree.
I can just choose a specific little legend.
No, were you not listening just now?
No,
Yeah.
sorry. Well, I was listening, but I was just confused.
So you can choose a little legend egg. The individual little legends are like twice as expensive.
The new one, the Reckoning LL bundle.
Alright, so you both just want the newest one.
Yeah, I want that Dowsy.
Yeah, I want the Nimblefoot.
Okay, I think I've already got you guys on friends. I think there's like a delay before you're able to give it to people you haven't had on friends before to stop money laundering, I guess?
No, I don't think you are friends with me because this is my old account.
Oh,
Imagine
days
having
minimum.
friends.
We're
You
best
need to
friends,
know.
Canner.
best friends.
Hell yeah.
How exciting. Alright, so the next tournament is going to be in 2 weeks' time, and it's going to be a hyper roll tournament by suggestion of Purple. I think it'll be a fun idea. We'll probably just, because the games are like a hard 20 minutes each, so we'll probably go for 4 or 5 rounds of competition on there, just because the games will end that much quicker. They're like literally about half the length of the regular TFT game.
I'm warning everyone, I am doing duck mode again.
Why always?
Nice.
Yeah, no, because going 8th is fun, you know?
I enjoy
I
it.
don't know.
Alright, is anyone going to carry on streaming after this, because I can raid across
They know
to...
it's going to stream infinite.
No. I'm done for now.
I have to go study.
I need to
have an
eat something.
Taking the SAT in 3 hours.
Blob has to stream. She needs to climb, right?
True,
So-
I was going to have lunch and then stream, but
Uh-huh.
Well, if you want to start up now, I can raid across you, Blob.
Yeah, it'd just be stream starting soon for like an hour.
oh, okay, sure.
Thank you so much for hosting, Canner. It was fun.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys had a good time.
Here's
For
dude.
organizing. Sorry for the scuffness of my lobby ownership
Hey, you did great.
and my save.
Sorry for trolling you with the wheel at the end there.
I'm off. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Latest,
bye.
mate.
Latest pills.
Cheers. Alright, so Improbable Blob TFT has been my co-caster for today, and
Yeah.
I'll just wait to see you actually up before I try and raid, because I
I've
think...
got to click start streaming now.
Alright, cool. There we go. Maybe? Apparently, Blauwinget says pills is a Dutch word for beer. So that's
Yeah.
something. Alright, cool. Well, Blob, enjoy the internet notoriety that comes with following up the Counterfeits Casual competition. Again, 2 weeks' time, the Hyper Casual competition, I thought that was quite a good name, will be in for the Hyper Roll. So that'll be the first time ever. I don't think I've seen anyone else do a Hyper Roll competition, so it'll be fun. Alright, see you guys soon.
Cool.
All
Good
right.
Thanks for running.
I haven't
Cheers.
played the game before. I gotta practice.
I just like that in like the second game, I completely inted my early game. I had a 2-star cannon, and then I accidentally sold it instead of my Sejuani. And I went on a massive lose streak because of it. But I still won the game because I got a
Counter
very
subbing.
good Shadow Fawn.
It's all about making those good decisions.
Yeah.
Ah,
Only a tier
It made
1.
me have one more eco.
You probably would have lost without it.
all right. Well, I hope you'll have a lovely time, and yeah, I hope you'll be able to make it back. I really screwed up on telling people way too late about the tournament this time around. I let too much other stuff get in the way, but I'll try and advertise it on the Wednesday before next time. But yeah, if you want to stick it in calendars, it will be on the 22nd.
Okay.
And make sure you practice your hyper roll so that you can, deploy it.
I'm like top 1,000 hyper roll players almost. So
Nice.
I'm ready.
I think it's a really good mode. I genuinely think they've done a really good job with it.
Yeah.
I played it once and suffered.
Yes, it's not regular TFT, but I think it's close enough you can still try out strategies and stuff in it.
I'll probably practice tomorrow.
All right. Well, have a great rest of the day, guys. See you soon.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Ooh, that's a noise. Thank you for the follow, the FTD. I think I've seen you around, actually. Pretty good at video game, I think. So yeah, You're on. Yeah, yeah. You're on my screen, are you? Yeah. Pretty sure you're good at video game. Oh, this is like almost full master lobby, Pog. You're okay at the game. I see. I mean, that's what everyone who's good. I'm enjoying the new set. I quite like it. I mean, I like TFT in general. I do miss Chosen. The ability to pivot on a dime was really nice. But yeah. Normal. Yeah, the normal TFT is pretty good. Yeah, I have the knowledge. It doesn't translate to cast because I don't know how to actually cast. I just talk about the game. And the people who do know how to cast don't have the knowledge, so it's kind of doomed. But hopefully that'll change soon. Alright then, let's see if we can win some games, shall we? My voice is very nice to listen to, thank you. I really hate listening to my own voice for a variety of reasons, but I have been told that before. Looking to stream while you watch while you work? Fair enough, fair enough. Well, hopefully this will be good enough for you. Blob did super well. You're working on it, are you? I see. Yeah, just, I mean, counter... Anyone who, like, actually tries can get masters in TFT. Like... You are no exception. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there is a lot of downtime in TFT as well, so it can be tricky. The other thing I struggle with is my voice. Like, I definitely speak too much, and it really is not good for my voice because it just dies. It started to die yesterday when I was doing the CCL cast. Yeah, duo is definitely the way to go. Solo cast is insane. I don't know how anyone manages to do solo cast. Yeah, I really enjoyed casting with Throwbait when we did the regional stuff. That was fun. What do I pick up here? I pick up Legionnaires, but like my items suck, don't they? Yeah, solo casting kicked nobody. Exactly. What have we got? A sword? I guess I keep this thing. Why are you talking about hot dogs? Yeah, that would be suboptimal for sure. Yeah. It's just something to learn, I guess. And I don't know what I'm doing. I just kind of talk. It seems to work out. People will be like, "Yeah, you're okay." What have we got? Ooh, Syndra. I'm down for Syndra. We have a Jugon already. Oh, you might try to pick higher than that set. I think you can do it. You're definitely good enough, right? Probably gonna go some kind of Vel'Koz build. You missed the counter streams, yeah. Casting storytelling, yeah. It's hard to do storytelling when there's like not that much of a story going on. Okay, we should be able to win this one. All the CC's really nice. Oh. Yeah, if you have to run production as well, honestly, it's just doomed. Shadow tier or BF sword? I think we go for the shadow tier here. I'll pick up a second thresh because I don't have The fuck? I don't have Redeemed in yet. Redeemed would be really nice. Just gonna sit here. Matter of technique. I mean, yeah, just have a second person do the production. Like, that's all it is, right? Probably gonna go one of a few things. Chalice and Malice I really like. Frozen Dark Heart's really good. That's about it, really. Hey Sammy, how's it going? Well, this is game 1 so far. Just did some casting with Counterfeit, which was pretty fun. This game seems to be going okay. I mean, I've standard dual gauntlet, which is fine. I'm not actually sure if I can win this one. Also, that was weird. Yeah, this person looks really strong. Warwick 2 is just way too powerful for me. Hayden OP. Where did I peak last set? I peaked rank 69, 972 LP. Yeah. I know I definitely played against you. So I recognize your name. Yeah, I ended at like rank 85 or something. But yeah, peaked at 972. Didn't quite make it to 1000 LP, which is a shame, but oh well. Okay, we probably pre-level, right? Because we can't we can't eco, right? Okay. Yeah, I would like to get 1000 LP this set. That'd be nice. Well, that's a Trundle 2, huh? Lobby's kind of strong, no? I really need a normal tier. Apparently we're just bullying this Lissandra, which I'm not opposed to. Oh, nice. Killed a unit. Bonk. Rank 6, 1500. Okay, yeah. I knew you were good. I didn't realize you were that good. Okay, that's kind of insane, no? Oh, now for tier. Rank 6, huh? Yeah, if it bores you, then there's no point playing, right? You should only play if you're having fun. Oh, yeah, if I can get top 10 this set, I'd be so happy. I really want to like at least make the qualifiers, because I've always like come just about short. Obviously, I've never broken top 50, so that'd be kind of hard to make qualifiers, wouldn't it? Man, these units suck. Huh? What am I doing with these? Is having fun an option? Right, I'll see you around, Sammy. Having fun is definitely an option. I have fun when I play, otherwise I wouldn't play. People who don't have fun playing games, like, why are you playing? Alright, that just seems like... I have no idea why you would ever do something if it's not enjoyable, or if you're getting paid. If you're getting paid, then fair enough. But yeah, otherwise, huh? Yeah, having the Shogun's really nice. We can just yeet these units around. I think it's a 1 unit loss. Nice. Yeah, I definitely really like winning for sure. What are these units? Actually, what are these units? I can sell these 4. Oh, I want to play 3 Renewer. Not Renewer, 3 Redeemed. Yes, I could be getting better paid for doing literally anything else, but also I don't do anything else, so, you know. Yeah, unless you're like actually getting thousands of viewers on Twitch, or if you're winning world championships, yeah, there's not really any point actually doing this like as a deliberate thing. Okay, 3 units. Maybe we can kill 1 more if we kill this, either the Varus or the Nunu. Nice, killed the Varus. That's really good. Yeah. I don't look forward to high-low LP gains, but oh well. Okay, we've hit Syndra 2, Aatrox 2, but no other Yeah, redeemed. What's going on? Season 2 is pretty good. Yeah, esports TFT not a big money maker yet. I mean, like the people who stream and get like 1,000 viewers, they I think they're doing fine, right? I'm not actually sure on the economics of getting 1,000 viewers on Twitch, but it's probably enough. But obviously, getting 1,000 viewers is a little bit too much for me to ask for right now, given I get like an average of 4. I'm getting nothing here. Where are my redeemed units? Yeah, exactly. I just really like playing the game. I got nothing here. What is going on? Hey! Finally. $200, $300 get your stable income? Fair enough, fair enough. I guess that'll be the goal, right? This Syndra 2 should do a lot of damage, right? It's 560 plus the crits. Having fun is more important, exactly. But also, like, being able to make a living having fun is also good. So many things. Yeah, look, just one-shot the victor. It's that easy. Okay, this thing is pretty strong, Oh. Right, I can actually get to 40 here. I'm down. Agreed. Absolutely. Hey, Sonic. Cloak, perfect. Okay, find the Leonas finally. Shout out to Malice. Okay. This thing gives so much AP. Like, 45 AP is a lot. Stream. I plan on making the stream vibes. That's always nice, right? Rat jam indeed. Oh, okay. How much damage is this thing at? Right, 740. Okay, with the crit, 1200 damage. Not bad. Okay, the redeem's actually coming in though. We're gonna lose this Varus because it's just gonna heal infinitely. Sag. We're actually quite close. Interesting face cam. Actually getting a face cam fairly soon, so just the blob will not be there any longer. So you know. I mean, well, I decided to I should have something there rather than just be blank, and that was the first thing that came to mind. It's a shame that Varus from Yumihei was the healing on that thing. How much did it heal? I want to know. Wait, what? Amount shielded negative 716. Huh? Okay, well, thank you, Riot. Ooh, Shadow IE this thing. That's pretty scary. Oh, we got bugged. It's fine though, it's fine. You can kill a couple more units. And then be happy, right? The blob is way ahead. Oh no. Can I get a blob hat? No, there is no blob hat. Mostly because it's very much a copyrighted thing. What's the Vel'Koz? I'm down for this Vel'Koz. You want to be able to not distinguish between that and the face cam? I guess I'll just go for Cheddar Rod. Dragon Quest. It's the slime from Dragon Quest. So it's a little bit copyrighted. I'm fairly sure it's copyrighted. I mean, like, it's hard to do slimes in general, like, that don't look like other slimes, because they're just kind of blobs. Just get a new one. True. But yeah, given that my profile picture is literally just the slime from Dragon Quest, probably falls under copyright. But who actually cares about copyright? Am I right? Here I am playing copyrighted music, non-stop, with copyrighted emotes. It's all fine. Trust. Counter. I have Nightbot on because I don't like bots. Fine, I'll let you. Dragon School is pretty old school, yeah. I very much enjoyed playing it when I was younger though, hence why it's my profile picture. Okay, nice, 3 units, that's pretty good. There is a hat on Amazon. Wait, really? That's quite cute actually. Oh, we lost by 2, nice. I'm down for that. This Syndra's doing good work. 2. Hopefully lose this next one by a little bit. We can roll down. Imported from Japan. It sounds about right given it's a Japanese thing. You could wear blob. Oh no. It's so many rels. Why have I hit so many rels? Give me one Vel'Koz, please. Ah. It's so doomed. Well, we got hooked as well because we're not positioned properly. Yeah, this is just doomed. This is what happens when you roll in at 7 and don't hit. Yeah, it's just kind of over. We actually kill the. We do actually win this round, I think. Varus is strong. Oh, I think Lux wins this one as well, right? Yeah, Lux damage, Varus damage, pretty good. Never corner positioning? Yeah. Kind of agree. Probably something like this. Yeah, I'm so used to corner positioning, you know? But yeah, no Vel'Koz means it's just doomed. Yeah, I think it's mostly just the Thresh. Threshing is just a pain. How much did everyone else get? I should have just rolled. Like, I mean, I think I should have rolled. I think it's still the correct choice, but it feels bad because I didn't hit anything. Going well cast, nice. Okay, we did decently well here. Nice. Yeah, pretty much. Good, you end up beating Hayden. We could have sat. We didn't get any stronger, right? On our oh, okay, we hit. I think we played Syndra over. Is that over you? Probably over you, right? Okay, now we can sit. Pog, we hit. The Rel 2 is really nice, for sure. And we just need to find an Invoker, go next level, and be happy. Glove, anything else? Oh, I'm down for just a random TG. Alright, that's an Invoker. Do I take the Teemo? Who do I TG? Probably TG and you, just because you're frontliner. I'm kind of down for Teemo here. Cost me 6 HP though. Look, I'm so low. I don't think I can. Even though it is the Invoker I do need. Okay, this is Boars, who has gone for a Karma comp and hasn't fully put the items on everything yet. They're just holding on. Okay, we just eviscerate their entirety. Okay, this thing does a lot of damage. Holy shit. Where did they go? Okay, nice win. Vel'Koz 1 OP, agreed. How long is it to level? 44 to level. I'm down not to buy this because it's going to be after stage 5 carousel. Okay. Okay, so we have Haydn, who is also Vel'Koz. Karma, they're on the opposite side to me. They're on the right side. I just played you though. Opposite side, same side, but they're also Vel'Koz. Okay, I'm down to switch. Okay, nice, got good positioning here. Although they do have a trap claw, which is scary. Go Vel'Koz! Please get yeeted. Okay, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Nice. Good win, Kia. Good win. Okay, Deadly Blast. Friendburger is dying as well. We're doing decently well here. Okay, my last two are Yumi Hei and Eyeballs. Friend is on the right. You're on the right. You're on the right. You're on the left, but you're Velcos. Also played. Have I played Hayden recently? I don't think so. 2,600 damage, by the way. Not bad. Okay, this person moved. I don't know if it's fine or not, but it might be. I mean, Rail Stun is really, really nice. Doing pretty good here. Oh, wait, where did my unit go? I got T-mode, okay. Holy shit, that T-mode damage. Please kill some units. Okay, we killed a lot here, I think. Okay, we only took a little bit there. That's fine. Eyeballs died. We can level up after this. Well, there's a Heimerdinger. Not a Heimerdinger, that's a Teemo. I want the Teemo, right? Also an Ironclad spat. I think it's just Teemo, though. Teemo with the Chalice. Or it was Vel'Koz. I'm down for Teemo with Chalice, though. Image level, we put in Teemo. We find a different redeem so we can put the items on. Varus. Okay, it just one-shot my Vel'Koz. Holy shit. We can't realistically beat this, Sag. It's fine, it's fine. I'll take the 5th. Yumihei, too strong. No Vel'Koz 2. Vel'Koz 2 wins those. Yeah, 5th place. But still, I think we played that pretty well. for Rod. Don't get Rod, I'll go for Chain Vest. Fuck you, Travis. You're reefed. But now for 3 Cavalier here. Yeah, this is pretty good. Pretty good for early game. Yeah, I would have really liked a Rage Blade, but I will. Okay, we can sell probably most of these, right? Okay. I'm actually down to buy this Callista because there's a chance I go Legionnaires. I know they're not very good compared to how they were, but they're not bad. Please say we can actually kill some units here. That'd be nice. The Renewer is so annoying. Holy shit, Renewer is annoying. Also, the attack damage reduction. Yeah, we can't kill anything. Huh. That's really bad. Kha'Zix Cled. Do we want Cled 3? Probably not. But, you know, the option's there. If we haven't hit Cled 3, I'm happy to play Cled 3 mid-game. Okay. Okay, pretty good. We got a stun off. And the second one as well. Nice. Okay, we killed the Syndra. Pretty sure we might lose this one. Oh, I want to lose by 2 units if I can. Ah. Oh, nice. Excellent. I may as well pick these up. Yeah, 2 loss 3. It's 3 wins, 2 losses. That's fine. Free Yoon and Yumihei really strong. As is, I've assumed Travis Cat to keep win streaking. Don't think I can use these things. Okay. Okay, I got a tier. A cloak. And a chain vest. Okay, what do I do with these items? I'm down for Frozen Heart. I'm down for a Frozen Heart. Yeah, it's always a good item, right? I think we hold on to the rest of these items. Right. This is a weird early game, I'll be honest. I'm gonna sell this, and if we lose, I'll sell the probably the Callista. Okay, nice, really good Frozen Heart positioning. Against Needle again, right? Okay, we're sure to get good execution damage here, which is nice. Good stuff. Okay, good win! Yumihei did lose to free unit. Okay, that's fair. Glove. I think we go for the glove every time here. Kha'Zix 2. A Sejuani. This is looking kind of like a Draven game, I think. Do we just stamp BT? I'm kind of down to go Draven. We slam BT. And then we have Last Whisper. okay. We probably go IE because we can also go Rage Blade, right? And there isn't that much armor this early. Okay, really good Frozen Heart positioning. Nice, killed the CC unit, the Lulu, early. Both times, actually. Oh, this thing is kind of strong, though. Okay, we do end up killing it. Oh, nice, good drop, Kled. Yeah, this is a really weird opener, I'll be honest. I'm not sure what I'm doing with it. I've got a lot of 2 stars, so it's fine. I've got a shadow item, which isn't that great for Draven, actually, thinking about it. Vayne 3, okay. Interesting they went for the RFC rather than anything else. They've probably got Shadow Bows, like, well, we can't go for Shadow Hurricane, so. Yeah, interesting. Against Vayne 1, they go for some kind of Forgotten build as well. But yeah, this LeBlanc is doing so much work. Okay, nice. We're actually crushing it. Okay, 4 units. Oh, 3 units actually. Oh, 2 units. Okay, that Katarina cleaned up so hard. Katarina is such a good unit. Yumihei loses to Travis Cat. I think lost to Friyun. Who we paired with. Okay, we won 50-50. Well, we won 1 we didn't lose 1 and 3 rather. I guess that's how to say it. There's no shadow. Okay, there's no shadow item now. So I'm down for a sword. I worried for a second I had a Hecarim pair, because that would have been terrible, but luckily I don't. Okay, that's a lot of Forgottens. Now's the time IE for this Kleds. Now to pick up these and just hold them. I mean, actually I could do this, right? And stay above 40. We're going to sell this thing. Yeah, Katarina is really good. We definitely need more Frozen, not Frozen, we need more Shadow items if we're going for this. Okay, Friyun, very, very strong. We're going to struggle to beat this. Holy shit, Friyun is so strong. Actually so strong. Yeah, this is just such a strong unit to play. They've got all these upgrades, strong, broader front line. Yeah. Very, very strong. Another Kled! Kled 3, Pog. Cinder 3 is not it. Some field research. Okay, thank you. I think I already knew that, but thank you anyway. I'm pretty sure Kled 3 is also not it, but here we are. I kind of want to lose this, right? Okay, we should lose this. This is good. This thing's on the complete wrong side. Okay, my fucking Kled just bounced around the entire field. I don't know why. Okay. Down to 63 HP. Okay, we found the Draven. We can just sell this. Put in Draven. Probably give this to Hecarim, right? And give items to you. Okay. They're just going for Forgottens. Spat. Okay, we've got a Spat. It's a Legionnaire Spat right now. Or a Ironclad. It's pretty bad. Hecarim. I'm down for a Forgotten Spat though. We can level, and what can we put in? Nothing. Right. Until that, I still have to level. We can just put in another Katarina, right? Right. Tabs is the... Oh, okay. We positioned our thing on the complete wrong side. We got bullied by Katarina. I wish we didn't get bullied by Katarina, though. Ow. I think we need to roll. I'll see what I get from this. Shadow Sword would be best. Next best would be Glove, right? We can roll and try and hit Draven. More Draven, 6 Forgotten and all that. Hecarim 2 would be nice as well. Okay, these all suck, but I need a shadow item anyway. So I think I take the Shadow Rod. We roll a bit. Cat 2. Oh, I missed a Thresh, fuck. Just are you. Dirty Pleds, Mystic. Thresh. Who gets this is the question. We're now for Sacrificial Rageblade. Get that attack speed going.
I can hear you, yep.
Excellent.
Hey.
Loud and clear. Hello, hello, hello.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
How are we both doing today?
Doing alright. I wanted to check, how do you kind of like say the name? Because I wasn't quite sure how the correct way is. Is it Play Beyond Nutrition?
Yeah, Play Beyond Nutrition.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all good and clear. And the big blue bears have left, so you won't be struggling with that.
How's the day gone so far?
Yeah, much better. Just so many less people to be fielding stupid questions from.
Yep, sounds about right.
Yeah, and yeah, people taking it seriously, and a little bit of player help in the Discord server surrounding disputes as well. So.
Oh, that's nice. Well, maybe you've got some people who can maybe look out for admins in the future.
Yeah, for sure. So no, it's been promising, and just after a good night's sleep, yeah, feeling a bit more refreshed.
Yes, I'm glad it's on the home stretch at least.
Yeah, I think I've sorted out the audio as well. Basically, I didn't want to change the audio yesterday because we were like live on stream, but now I put it way down in game, which means you guys should be much more easily heard, which is good.
Yes, I think what tends to be done is you can like leave it on full volume in the game and then just use a volume mixer on your PC to adjust it from outside the game without having to go into the menus at all.
Yeah, it's because I was running the volume for the game and the Discord chat through my graphics card. That when I moved one, it moved both. So,
okay.
I could turn it up at the same time. So for the interests of knowing what I'm doing, I'm just going to continue with that, but I've moved it down in game.
All right.
But in the future, I will definitely split the two.
Yes.
Yeah, lots and lots of new things to be learned and progressed upon. But on the whole,
I'm amazed that this is like the thing you guys decided to go for as your first event, like something of this scale.
Yeah, well, we didn't realize how stupidly big it was until it all began, and then we were like, "Oh, that's a lot of people." Yeah, so if you had told someone who'd known a bit more about running league tournaments about it, they probably would have thought you were mad. But we just kind of didn't know how mad we were going.
Well, I mean, you made it this far.
Yeah, I mean, there are still people turning up, there's still people playing, so yeah. But yeah, really pleased with you both yesterday. Unbelievable stuff. So yeah, crack on a quarterfinal, and then we'll have a nice long extended stream where hopefully we can follow some teams all the way through.
Yeah, so it does tend to be easy just to go from like, the quarterfinal with one team to their next one just because they're there and they're ready. You only have to herd half as many cats.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we'll just follow the Bastards SKT side of the thing.
Oh, I think I've seen the Bastards
especially
playing before because I remember being like, oh boy, I don't want to be saying Bastards over and over again.
Well, we've gone for that, so you have to.
B Esports, there you go.
Yeah.
B Sports.
B Sports, yeah.
Got him. This is, I can see why we're gonna have to keep saying their name. This is a ridiculously high-ranked team.
Yeah, they're. So I'm probably anticipating Maeve John versus Bastards through the final, because Maeve John have.
I have to see who ESSKT is fielding, because I might be able to get some of my previous notes I have on them from another tournament.
Nice.
If it's enough of the same players. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okie doke. I'll just start popping them in here for. B Esports, there you go. And winner of.
With the countdown of obviously trying to sync up the streams, do you reckon it's better that I go like 1 second before, because there'll obviously be a delay on Discord, and it's probably better that I'm ahead?
I feel like having it as close to like just it's one of those just imperfect things of doing.
Yeah.
This kind of method is only ever going to be so precise, but I think just all going at the same time leads to the least variance is the only thing, because it could be the case where I may press it a second later, or you may press it a second earlier, and if we all are trying to do separate things, then
No, okay, we'll just go. 3, 2, 1, and go.
If you're looking for a fairly kind of easy way for the future to do this kind of thing, a good method we've found from other ways is for the person who's running the stream to use Parsec, the desktop sharing, because it's extremely low latency.
Okay.
So you Parsec share to the casters your production feed, and then they just cast off that, and then you don't need to worry about any kind of syncing up again because you're all going off the same thing.
Yeah. Fair. Have you guys done much production before at all?
A bit.
Some in real life, but not much online kind of stuff, which is weirdly different.
Oh, really?
Because usually when you have people on live feeds, it's a lot easier to just hop between monitors because you don't need to do any of that kind of sync up stuff. But online, it's all about just making sure everybody sees the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we were thinking in the future, if we do get you guys back on, that if you did have casting capabilities, we might just give you the login and like our scenes pre-made, and then we just completely remove the need for the sync up. But that's something we could do in the future.
Sure, we could ask Patrick or Reed or somebody like that for tips on that kind of thing.
Yes,
there are for producers.
Yeah, so there are like people who just do productions, straight productions, who would be able to give you fantastic quality streams.
Oh, really? Oh, well, yeah. If you could put us in touch with them, And if they're people that you've worked with, then that works.
Reed, Phil, Patrick, these are like... I've not had a single problem working with any of those three ever.
Yeah, there's like that group of people are all the ones who are like punching way above their weight in terms of production quality for the kind of material they're working with. So.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, if you could send me their Twitters or whatnot, that would be perfect.
Yeah, I'll grab Patrick's.
I think I have Phil on Twitter. Phil 30, that's the one.
Yeah, Phil's really good. I think it was Phil I was working with before. No, Joe FX is another producer who's extremely good. I think the only people who bother to kind of do production as their main thing are the people who are very, very good at it.
Yeah. You don't really get much like divergence from that, but you do get an extreme quality from these guys.
Well, you never know. You come here and you get some proper interesting production.
I think. Well, I don't know if this is possible for our games here, but like, I think probably the biggest kind of win in terms of game readability is just putting in some text sources for the team names in the top left, top right, just so people know who the teams are.
Okay, yeah, well, okay. I should be able to do that.
That's always a helpful one because it means that when I'm usually talking about the players, I end up just defaulting to red and blue side when the names aren't on the screen, because if you weren't there from the beginning, players don't actually know, like, viewers don't know who is who.
Yes, if I say like BE Esports, they could be like, unless that's in their tag, and literally no idea who that is.
Yeah, understandable. I should be able to just snip some images or text or something.
Yeah, I mean, I just tend to go the lazy way, just put a couple of text sources into OBS and then swap them around as need be.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
I downloaded OBS earlier this week, so as you may.
Oh wow, it's quite a learning curve.
Well, I mean, I've done I've got a computer science background, so steep learning curve. Code editing systems are usually a lot simpler than this, so like I've been getting to grips with it okay, but not all of the.
You can do some amazing stuff with OBS Studio if you put the time in. It's not obvious when you kind of look at it the first time, but there's loads of functionality that's kind of like just below a couple of different sort of hidden options.
Yeah. So for text, do I want the text GDI plus?
I'll have a quick check and see. I don't remember that being a option that I've changed before. Text. Oh yeah. Text GDI plus.
Turning on screen share. Maybe that'll make it a bit easier because I'm not that proficient with OBS kind of stuff.
Yeah, GDI plus is just a default. It doesn't mean anything.
Okay, cool. So we don't. Oh, and we know bastards. I'll put bastards on there. Or should I go BE Esports? I'll go BE Esports.
It's up to you, really. I think.
I mean, we're not too fast, but
it's one of those things that, as casters, we're always looking at to try and make sure that we don't have sort of embarrassing things to have clipped for.
Yeah. I suppose this is a part of your portfolio as much as it's anything.
Yes,
there's been some awful ones.
It's like it's just really not wanting the clip to come up down the line of people be like bastards. Like, well, that's
even that
meme.
One's like, yeah, that's a one-word thing. I'm trying to think of what the other one was. At one point, there was a player for Newell that had the IG Buster Nut to Lilia, which is the Deer champion.
Oh my god!
And I was like, I'm not casting over this name.